Alrighty, welcome everyone back to another Wednesday Faction Wars. Once again, we're back on the battlefield with some casual midweek multiplayer action. And yeah, just doing some extra multiplayer, getting some games in and prepare for the DLC to arrive. Now, I've been trying out some stuff in the DLC early access. Perks of being a content creator. But yeah, and yeah, I like some of the units. Like, I mean, there are some reskinned infantry, of course, but still, like, yeah, there's a new video coming out tomorrow about one of the new units, which I'm really happy about. I just enjoy seeing it on the battlefield and all. So yeah. Overall, I can't review anything about it yet, but yeah, I've been enjoying making the video about that unit. They got some pretty new interesting stuff going on in the DLC. But yeah, we can leave that for tomorrow's video. So keep an eye out. Stay alert. Keep your eyes peeled for the new video. But yeah, let's focus on today's tourney, which will be on this current patch of the game. Now, let me just start picking an army. Today I want to play with no magic empire, just steel faith and gunpowder perhaps. So let's see what happens here. Because I have no idea what's gonna happen. Let's just do some steel faith gunpowder. It's against Kislev, so let's not play with tank or Lancia or that sort of stuff, because that's a bit whack. Let's go with a Sunmaker. It's been a while since I used it. We need something to maybe keep those cavalry at bay. So Demigryph Knights and some more heavy Empire Knights. And then we're not bringing magic, so Steel Faith and Gunpowder, baby. Which means we need something to keep those cavalry alive. Shield of Faith. It is Shield of Faith. Should I just stack another Shield of Faith? Yeah, maybe let's just do that. Barded Warhorse. Grand Shield of Faith. We can stack the two abilities together, and that's like 40. Wait, can we bring multiple battle prayers? I know battle hymns are limited because, well, they are a limited ability. But I don't think there's a restriction to prayers, though. Yeah, I don't think there's a ban on warrior priests. Duplicate warrior priests and shit. Ah, the lore of Sigma, boys. Let's bring out the lore of Sigma. Sigmar. And maybe like an engineer. Just cause we might want to get a unit with some shooting out. Alright, let's just use that to poke at single entities. We have double priest build, Grand True of Faith, which is 20% more safe plus another 20% on the warrior priest, and see what happens here. We don't have Lore of Life to help us with anything, so yeah, once again, Shield Faith Gunpowder. Steel Faith Gunpowder. Let's see what happens here. The Sunmaker, a couple cavalry, and then some cheaper cavalry shields to hold the line. Let's just... Can we... Should we bring a couple of these, actually, huh? There's no... Wait, hold on. Restock on a Sunmaker. Huh. Restocking on a Sunmaker. Now that's is it gonna be whack? It might gonna be whack. Well, let's see. Let's just bring one row out of Griffites, which will have to do a lot of heavy lifting if there's more than one Bear Riders, but yeah, let's see what happens there. Actually, you know what, let's just bring two, whatever. Yeah. Bring two Demigryph Knights, just getting the armor piercing, and we don't necessarily need the anti-lock, I don't think. Yeah. I guess. Steel Faith Gunpowder Boys. We can't afford too much backline shooting because we don't have anything to protect. How does War Wagons perform against? Oh wait, actually, all right, Steel Faith Gunpowder Boys. All right, 0 gold left over. This is the perfect build. No, we can't ask for anything more. This is it. This is it. Yeah. Alright, let's just chill and see what happens here. Pasha is a decent player, so I don't know if my Faith of Sigmar build is gonna pull off here, but we shall see. We shall see. Why is it not going off? It's weird. It's not loading? Oh. Huh. That's weird. I thought... Yeah, this lobby isn't working, so we're gonna have to start up a new one. I've got my perfectly adjusted funds army. We just need to rebuild that. Unfortunately, damn it, we lost it. So yeah, we have to rebuild it. No, we are not using that. We need the Sunmaker with an engineer that can restock ammo. Holy crap. Yeah, why haven't I thought about using an engineer with restock on a Sunmaker? That would be hilarious. Drake Griffin, Grand Shield of Faith. Yeah, let's just put everything on here, and Benediction isn't really needed here. Do we really need Jade Griffin? Do we even need Jade Griffin, really, when you think about it? Body War Horse, no Benediction, just Time of Sigma, Shoot of Faith, and turn off all these. Maybe actually Banner of Eternal Flame would be useful here, just because we need to deny the enemy of healing. And then we're out of funds. We're out of money. Great. Wait, where were our funds? Where did our funds come from? Oh, because I missed out on a few items. Yeah, that's probably why. In that case, this is too expensive. So, yeah. Actually, we'll bring these two and then bring an Outrider unit. Maybe another one. And then... I don't know. halberd. Very nice spear unit plus a halberd. All right, perfect funds. Let's go. We're good. Hopefully this time the map will load and we can start playing. Okay, yeah, we're loading this time. Good. But yeah, the idea is we're not using magic today, just steel faith and gunpowder. Faith is the keyword here. Bringing double priests. Like, the battle prayers, unlike the Kislev battle hymns, are not limited. So theoretically, they are not restricted by the fruit rules of you can only bring one copy of an ability with like a use restriction. Theoretically. Yeah, theoretically I should be able to run 2 warrior priests if I want to. Man, it took us long enough to get started, so we should get ready sooner. Man, I'm getting a bit rusty in playing this game, not gonna lie. After having a month of a break and then just been playing a tiny bit of multiplayer every week to try and get myself back into shape. But yeah, anyways, I probably should have gotten more abilities on this guy. Oh well. Alright, ready when my opponent is. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. And yeah, we're starting. Alright, Hellstorm, let's rain down that fire on that. Oh, I don't even know what the fuck I'm playing anymore. Can you start firing, please? Thank you. We need to annihilate their front line there. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff there. Yeah, just pull back our stuff a little bit there. And those are Griffin Legion Winged Lances. Griffin Legion Winged Lances. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough nut to crack. And we don't have. We need. We need a 5 power. Oh boy. Let's see what happens there. Somehow they're dodging those volleys? Holy crap! Man. Yeah, that's quite a... Walking horizontally dodges? I didn't even realize that. Okay, that is a very neat way to dodge those shots. Every day you learn something new. And yeah, like... Alright, let's just pull back a bit. Pull back a bit. Shoot her, please. Just poke. Alright. You can pull back a bit and then I'll get you out. So. Okay, that's friendly fire territory. Please do not do that. Alright, please stop shooting that side and yeah. Throw in some cavalry in there. Fight those Griffin Legion, that's fine. Move your stuff back a bit and start going back to shoot that. Yeah, go and fight those Griffin Legion, thank you. Stop shooting at those guys, please. Yeah. And please turn on everything. And just keep poking. Doesn't matter. Come back here, give them a restock. Okay, that's fine, I guess. My cavalry is kind of moving out of the way. And the Sunmaker is definitely doing work here. Don't know if it's actually worth the cost though. Alright, I think we're out of there. Let's put out of there a bit there. Now should start piling onto that lady here. You guys pull back a bit. Let the halberdiers do the work here. And they're running. Great. That was not great. I mean, okay, we still have some cavalry and stuff left. Yeah, let's just go and pepper those guys. You guys go back onto the turret. Go back onto your artillery. Oh, the lady is out of position. No, actually, never mind. Yeah. Alright, back on the mount. Start raining fire again. Take her down. Just keep poking down that lady. I've been mismicroing those outriders, man. Just keep running forward. Take her down. Right, those I guess those artillery is no more. But what you know what else is no more? Their lord. Steel faith and gunpowder, boys. Steel faith and gunpowder. No magic needed. Suffer not the witch. Alright, yeah, just keep spamming those stuff, and I totally forgot about these guys! Ah, yeah, they're routed. Can you get a volley down onto them, and then start running? Alright.
Without delay, at speed, with speed, as you say.
You guys can keep running. Just keep running, guys. Just keep running. Oh, and they're gonna get cut off, aren't they? Oh, they stayed in combat for a little too long there. Let's pull back a bit. And we need to make sure she gets off the battlefield at least. We don't have healing, so that's a big problem there. Alright, the Outriders are going to survive. Alright, bad news is our demogryphs are done for. Oh, and of course they have a bar of blood. Try to get out of dodge. Yes, and they routed. Great. Fuck. That's not great. We're gonna get bullied by cavalry. Somehow they came back, but we don't have any healing for them. That's a big problem. And we still have some halberdiers, elites. Alright, we'll just have to let the halberdiers eat the bullets. You know what? Start running. Stay the hell away from those halberds. No, not halberds. Enemy cavalry. Maybe do some teasing a bit, I guess. You guys just stay there and chill a bit. Oh shit! And they shattered. They aren't even touched in melee. They're just too tired. Damn. Volkmar, I need you to get in there and drop some so far bombardment. That's the best bet to clear enemy units. So fire time. Poke that. He can't get his own ammo back. Great times. Yeah, just let them sit there for a bit. So fire time. Alright, time to pull back a bit. I know I'm losing on that capture point, but I'm not gonna have enough stuff to capture it anyway, so why bother, right? Alright, alright. Just keep peppering them down. Can we pin it down? Yeah, let's just shoot down some of their units there. No lingering. Quickly. Oh wow, that's a lot of damage to the whatever that was. Alright, can we get some damage out? Nope. The engineer is gonna die. This is tight. Alright, one last charge from the Demigriffs. Everyone get an attack up, please. And, we're getting ravaged. Oh no, the rechargers is too much, yeah. If we played the cavalry properly, like if we played the outriders properly, we had a decent chance, I think. But unfortunately, I lost them. I didn't pay enough attention to micro them, and just pay a little too much, put too much focus in the melee fight, and lost them. Like they could have done a lot of good DPS there, but yeah, didn't kill off the worst left as well. What is this heresy? Volkmar not on chariot. He also doesn't have his Jade Griffin. It is heresy indeed. It is heresy indeed. Oh, he's still there shooting. Damn. Yeah, that's not bad, I guess. All we can do is attempt a army loss here. I don't think that's possible though.
Engineer, in motion, as you say. Battle protocols. Marching, moving, quickly. A new view. Go. Glory awaits. Finding the
Alright, get out of dodge.
a matter of locomotion.
Yeah, our Demigriffs are done for.
Ready. Attack by forge and firearm. For Sigmar.
Come on. Oh yeah, no, it's just Volkmar. To be fair, Volkmar doesn't have healing, so he can he's just there to duke it out. Our value was close, but yeah, it's just too much. There's too many of these mob left, and we lost our artillery a little too early. Sad times being the Sunmaker. I think it would have been fine if we had a bit more troops to protect it, but yeah, no. That's not happening.
Battle prayers.
And even Volkmar is wavering. Yeah, I'm not gonna drag this one out. GG to my opponent there, nicely played. I think we could have had a chance there, just that we threw away our Outriders pretty early, so which is a sad times. Alright, looks like the round 1 is done. I'm just waiting. I just need to go and play, against Tinge. Steel Faith and Gunpowder against Magical Heresy. Yeah, the Outrider still did some okay damage. We could have done more if we microed them properly. We didn't. That's a problem here. Demogryph Knights, Maybe we should have, Maybe we should have really went for the raw alt of Griffites to get some better sustained melee stats against, Armored Cavalry. And also, the Sunmaker did alright, considering how quick they got shut down. And of course, Engineer carrying the day with Volkmar the Grim and the Warrior Priest not doing a whole lot. But yeah, it's it definitely helped the Demogryph Knights, but unfortunately they are a little bit too fragile on being charged and stuff like that. So yeah, and not killing the Light War sleds, as my Outriders were not did not survive the onslaught. I mismicroed them pretty bad. So yeah, they didn't get a whole lot of value, while the Light War sleds themselves got quite a bit of work done. Very nicely played by our opponent, very patiently keeping those Light War sleds alive and pepper down my forces from afar. So yeah, GG to my opponent there. Let's move on to our second round of battle. Yeah, Pasha is okay, Pasha should be in the second round as well. And I'm gonna go and play against Sigos. But yeah, we're fighting against Sigos with Teen. So yeah, Faith, Steel, and Gunpowder versus Pinnacle of Heretic Magic. Good times. But yeah, I might actually roll with the Sunmaker again, cause I just really like this piece of artillery. There we go. Should I go for Volkmar again? That's a real question. Actually, might as well. Maybe play with infantry build this time. We shall see. Volkmar on foot. Now that's something. Or Boris Todbringer. Let's do Boris and then. Or should I do Volkmar? Yeah, Volkmar, Divine Power, that's a must against the Heretic. Once again, Engineer with Restock and on a Barded Warhorse so that I can put him on the Sunmaker duty, just restocking this thing. Also, actually, Master of Ballistics, that might work. Yeah, Master of Ballistics, and then Mass Infantry, I guess. Technically, I can bring in, yeah, I can bring in another Warrior Priest again, just there on foot. Nothing else, just on foot, Shield of Faith, Soul Fire to bomb stuff, and that's about it. Yeah. I'm not sure about. Actually, let's not pick pre-competing militia. We might need a Demigryph Knight just in case we need to kill something large. But otherwise, let's just wait, no, I had to bring these. No. If I bring heavy infantry, I've got the Sunmaker. If they're going demons, I got. The problem is, what if they're going skirmish cavalry? Now that's a real problem, isn't it? Skirmish cavalry. I'll just have to pre-competent militia and then a couple more. Yeah, a couple more of these Empire Knights plus Volkmar to hold the line, I guess. Yeah. I guess this is it. This is the build. I don't know what I'm building, but it's something. Decisions, indeed. Wait, why are you on my stream? Get off my stream, Sigos. No, just kidding. I trust you don't look at my stream. My stream or my screen or whatever. Alright, let's see. But once again, Volkmar not on Chariot. Just trolling with the Sunmaker and his ammo stockpile. Let's see what happens. But yeah, Empire Steel Faith Gunpowder build, no magic against the most heretical magic of all. Most heretical magic of all. Most magical heretic of all as well. Siege. I do love playing on Crossroad. It's just a very simple map. Yeah. Nothing complicated, big flat terrain for artillery, great stuff. Not great for ambush heavy factions though, like Beastmen. Cause you're just walking through open ground. At least the Beastman has the stock ability on a good chunk of their chaff. So they don't get shot on their way in. So that's something.
Free company for the Warhammer. Hellstorm. Demigryph Knights. We serve friends. Free company for the twin-tailed comet.
All right. And then this guy is just on foot there to fight infantry stuff. Volkmar is on horseback. Ready to go, just waiting for an opponent there. How the fuck do we have slightly more balance of power than our opponent? Or unless I'm seeing things. I'm not sure. Units in some places of the map couldn't route. Oh, it's still bugged. Ah. That's... Huh. Okay. That's weird. Yeah, I guess I'll just have to remove it for now. In the future 20 or something. But yeah, let's have a look there. Zangles, Sorguts, Chaos Knights of Siege. If I can get a volley onto these Chaos Knights, that would be Valor City. What the f— Okay, that is not very nice of you, Zigos. What the fuck was that? What the fuck is this? Alright, I guess Volk might just have to go in the melee against this thing. Like, I've got no choice. Out, that hurts, that hurts. Is that blue scribe, by the way? No, that's a yo. That's a blue scribe. What the fuck? I don't get this build. I don't get this build. Like, what the fuck was that? Satang on the changeling. That is a new one. Nobody expect a Satang there.
Take position!
Just keep shooting.
Immediately.
Keep shooting that guy. Are we in range?
Here's my shield. Quickly now. As you say. Overcoming inertia. Crucible of war.
Alright, time to dodge.
In motion.
Dodge that! Ah,
Troops ready.
we're getting blasted. No!
Storm. Engineer. A matter of locomotion. Finding the angle.
Ow, hurts.
Double time. The empire is yours. Take the ground. For the
We're almost there. We're almost there.
sighted and ready. Over there. Quickly.
Dodge that!
Mind over matter. With speed.
Ow, hurts. Let's just turn that on for a bit.
Hellstorm rocket battery. Overcoming inertia. At once.
Come on, get a volley in, you guys.
I am ready. Engineer.
And of course they move out of range.
Moving out, sir. Free company. For the Warhammer. No
We
lingering.
take on... Oh shit.
Mastercraft.
Yeah, the engineer is not surviving this one.
Elevate cannon. Let's go.
Come back here, you son of a tinge.
Marching. Right. With purpose. Double time. Go.
Alright, just have to disrupt them a bit there, I guess.
Moving. Gifted tinkerer. Black powder blast. Free company. Understood. Yes, General.
Finally, the first volley of a Sunmaker.
Firearm. Very well.
And they missed?
Sight.
They freaking missed?
What do you bid?
You guys are a regiment of renown with stupid firepower.
Together.
Why are you missing?
By the Jade River. For the Emperor. Sigmar guides us. Ready to smite. Finding the angle. Battle protocols. Making it so. Yes, sir, quickly. Danny Griff Knights. Free company. For the Warhammer. Yes, sir. Moving. Ready.
Oh, I didn't look behind me. That's a problem there, huh?
In range. Go. Raging target.
Alright, time to get out of the dodge. Can I even get out of dodge at this point?
Militia. Go. Quickly. For Heldenhammer. At speed. I have them. Hit targets.
No, that's not happening. Got kited hard.
Now. Moving. Withdraw.
Alright, at least I have the capture point, but that's not helping me at all.
Take the ground. No lingering. Ready for war. Glory awaits. Prepare for combat.
Alright, give everyone here a little bit of that boost. A little bit of that tiny bit of a buff. Somehow, yeah. Somehow we're grinding down the Zandagors. But yeah, not great, unfortunately.
We are Sigmar's heirs. Sigmar guides us.
Right, get them some help, I guess.
The Empire. Shield of faith.
Yeah, the Satang though.
Militia.
The Satang is annoying as hell to deal with. That's a new team's tag for sure. And nobody expects Satang from the Changeling.
Shields up.
Man, the Changeling just opened so many tactical options for Siege. Just because you you never know what he will become. It's just funny. But yeah, I did ignore a good chunk of all the space, so and totally neglected the defense behind me. I probably should have gotten like a cannon or something, just in case I need to deal with artillery monster. Because even if there's no Satang, a Soul Grinder of Siege would be a problem for me as well, which I have no good answers for. So yeah, I definitely should have accompanied the Sunmaker with a cannon piece. Like, yeah, Hammer of Witches would be neat as well. Yeah, that was a painful defeat. That was a painful one. The Satan actually got some pretty good, or Changeling here. Yeah, got some pretty good value. And because I was trying to push up and get my Sunmaker in range, they got, yeah, they were not able to be protected in nice formation. I was just pushing up my units and they got out of position, leaving my missiles quite vulnerable. And I paid ultimate price for that. Yeah, should have got a Hammer of Witches for sure. As you can see, even just the few volleys that the Sunmaker managed to get out, still managed to earn back some solid value. Unfortunately, I just didn't have the time to use up enough ammo for a restock ability. But yeah, that is it for this battle. We're moving on to the next one. And oh man, these Sendigos got so much value. Holy hell. Alright. Let's move on to the next one. Let me just report the scores. And we're... Okay, that is awkward. We fought against Pasha already in the first turn. And we are supposed to fight against Pasha again. And we can't change the... And we can't change the matchup on challenge once after the first round. So I guess we'll just have to take on Kislev one more time. Alright, guess we're doing a Kislev rematch. Alright, a rematch. Steel Faith Gunpowder, but I don't want to play the same build against the same faction again. So let's do something different. Let's see. The Empire against Kislev. What if we bring a mass infantry build with great swords, mortars? We need something to punish the sled. So great cannons, a couple help. blasters. Why am I bringing that? Maybe actually not 2 Hell Blaster, just 1 Black Lions. It's expensive as hell, but maybe it'll work. Not sure. We shall see. Actually, just cannon, a couple cannons, and then just a shit ton of artillery, perhaps? No, we need something to clear the infantry. So, great swords, spears, maybe 3, not 4 of the great swords. We need some. Are Hawkline long rifles still decent? I do wonder. I can't see the penetration of their shots, so I don't know how many models are they gonna hit in one volley. So that's a problem. I can't bring the Outriders grenade launchers on themselves because we have already proven my micro is too shit for skirmish plays. Yeah, let's see the Black Lions. Let's try the Black Lions once more. It's been a while since I used them. They can be pretty neat against certain like slower factions. Let's bring the Demogryph Knights, but this time with halberds. And with Karl Franz with a warrior priest, because you can't just play faith, steel, and gunpowder without faith, right? This cast chance to screw with their casting. No, this is not a balanced build. It's too expensive for what it does. Okay, in that case, I'll just bring Volkmar and Volkmar only. That's where the Steel Faith gunpowder comes in. Jade Griffin, not on a car, so yeah, not on his Volkswagen. Also very expensive on all these units. I've got cannons. Maybe I'll just get Hellblasters, a couple of them, instead of 1 Black Lion, because it's way too expensive. And then 2 great swords to hold the line, spears, a couple halberds to protect the back line, Empire Knights, and then another halberdier. Actually, that. And then that. There. I think that might be it. Just getting a bit more numbers, get some artillery in, and start popping them from afar. Yeah, delete that. No, I still need 1 Master Engineer, just that I'm not bringing the restock ability. Not this time. Oh, I still have enough money for 1 mortar, I guess. So there's that. Yeah. I guess this will do. Let's see what happens. Not an entirely same build, but yeah, let's see what happens. We're not bringing magic. Once again, Steel Faith Gunpowder, boys. Alright, let's set some units aside. Oh, actually, front line can... We can send the great swords in for the front line. And some mortars there to pepper their infantry with, a couple artillery in case we need to kill monsters and... Yeah, monsters and chariots and cavalry. Yeah, good old steel faith gun. This feels like a very Warhammer 1 build, except the engineer. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. The engineer's new. Everything else is everything else are classic Empire. Okay. Yeah, that's just him going to poke around with his missiles. We've got some mortars, which are... I'm just gonna leave them out in the open because they're mortars. I'd rather just let them lure in the enemy attack so I can countercharge with Volkmar the Grim. Let's see what happens. Right, Kislev rematch. Let's see what happens. It's the same build, I think.
Cannons, fire! Awaiting orders. Pick your target.
Yeah, it's a very similar, if not the same build. Oh no. Oh no. Internet! Hold on! Alright, we're getting some damage, I guess. Nothing too insane.
By forge and firearm. Overcoming inertia.
Go and poke her down, I guess, while you're at it.
A new view. A matter of locomotion. Engineer. Mind over matter. Great cannon! Verheldenhammer! Battle protocols! Engineer! Moving! Right! No lingering! We are ready! Mortar! Great cannon! Crank that machine! We serve France! Engineer, quickly! Finding the angle! In motion! Over there! State troops ready! Sighted and ready! Sigma guides us! Engineer!
Alright, he's probably gonna die. Oh! These guys need to pull back. Ambushers, there's too many people over there, so I'm not gonna fight them. Let's see what happens there. Knock them down. Because for some reason, some units of those are out of position. Let's just kill that while we send in the spears to deal with those, and then... Alright. And then we can bring them over there. Cannons are still there, which means we can send some units over and then... Everything, get that ward save.
Quick march! Cannons, fire! Ready for war! Yes, sir, quickly!
Can they get on there in time? That's a real question there. Alright, right, come on over here and start killing them. You guys go and fight those. Volkmar is still holding. Oh, somehow the Demigryph Knights got terrified. Great. And these guys lost their fight. The Empire Knights somehow got a charge, so that's fine, I guess. Great Swords lost their fight against the what? Yeah, sometimes I just don't know what the Great Swords are supposed to do here. The heck? How did they even guys lost that one? Oh, they got shot by the Akshina ambushers for a bit. That's probably why.
Sigmar guides us. Halberdiers! On our way! In the name of the twin
Alright, we just keep firing, I guess.
Crank that machine! To battle!
Cannons are done for it. Halberds will probably have to move out.
For the Emperor! Prepare for combat! Sigmar speaks through me! With purpose! Quickly!
Yep, getting kited pretty hard here. Shit. Alright. And they got pack trapped. Nicely done with the pack trap, honestly. Just locking some of my units down, denying them from getting that charge on those Akshina ambushers. Alright, at least we get the charge. Just keep chasing her down. You guys finally are free. Get back on the cannon, please. Start shooting her up.
We obey. It shall be. Quickly! We serve the Emperor. Go!
Great Swords are still fighting. Fighting the good fight and all that.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
Take the ground! Sigmar!
Get back on the cannon, you guys.
Go!
And the Akshina ambushers are done for. Great.
Great swords!
Can you get a shot out, please? Man, their value is abysmal. Sigmar has been very persistent. Just not giving out on the chase at all.
Halberdiers! Great swords!
Take position!
Sighted and ready. Black power
Alright,
blast!
can you shoot them? Thank you.
Demigryph Knights!
Have you hunt down the... Oh, you hunt them down. Nice. You hunt her down. Nice. Okay. Just keep chasing, I guess. Not much I can do here. Get back here and
Engineer! Over there!
she's probably not coming back, but just send over the engineer to kill them just in case. That was a glorious charge indeed. Yeah. That was a bit of a problem there. Oh shit, I didn't even realize these Akshina ambushers are there. I mean, that's supposed to be a thing, I guess. To stalk and not let people know they're there. But yeah, I just can't dislodge them from that. Okay, I think that...
Moving now! Ah! At speed! Halberdiers!
Okay, these missiles are gonna be the bane of me right now.
Great cannon! Yes, General! Sigmar guides us! Yes,
Just run off a bit and see what happens.
preserve us! Immediately!
Turn that one on again. Maybe I'll get the cannons back, maybe not. We shall see.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
Oh, I forgot about these guys. Come back here.
Master craftsman, a matter of locomotion.
For the Warhammer!
Engineer, righty-ho! Ha! Quickly! right.
Yes, my lord.
Finding the angle. Over there. Marching.
Just keep shooting them down.
Prepare for combat.
Halberdiers!
You guys just keep chasing. Take on the artillery. And I don't know. Let's see. The engineer is routed, unfortunately. Hello, Captain Tillis. Tillis? Yeah, that's Captain Tillis. Yeah. Hold on. I am getting heavily kited here. Give me a second. Yeah. I don't know if I have the stuff to bring this game back. Cause all my balance of power is in Volkmar, and he's not a very killy lord. He's on horseback as well. While my opponents still have a lot of firepower left. Yeah, that is gonna be a very awkward situation. Even the demigryphs were not able to get much value when I botched up their micro quite a bit. Yeah, I think that is GG for me. There's just too much stuff. I don't think I want to see Volkmar try to solo the rest of the army here. Yeah. Capture point, can't lose on point. I honestly, I don't have anything to capture that point. I tried to play the artillery route. No magic at all. Not working out right now. Volkmar getting some stuff done, but that's about it. Yeah, that is gonna be GG. I think I'm just gonna throw in the towel here. Maybe Steel Faith and Gunpowder is just not enough, guys. Maybe I really need the heretical magic to help me. Or maybe sanctioned magic, that's what we need. Not heretical magic, sanctioned magic. It's different. Same but different. GG. Nah, I played my artillery game horribly, mate. It is not a good game for me. I cry. Like, my artillery did poorly in this game. Yeah, you can see not a whole lot of value. On one hand, the cannons have pretty bad line of sight throughout the game because of that dip in the middle of the battlefield. And on the other hand, I just played my cards poorly. My opponent sneak up those Akshina ambushers and hit the stuff on my flanks with a lot of arrows, which is very nicely done from him. Yeah, like you can see this one getting 1,300 gold worth of damage value, and then the cavalry also played really well. And this Kosovo dervishes just disrupting my artillery when my mobility are too disrupted elsewhere. And the great swords are kind of disappointing. Even with their armor, they can't really mitigate enough of the damage from the Akshina ambushers, and somehow lost against armored Khazars. So maybe I should just need to cut these great swords and get something else in the future. That's definitely what I should have done. Cut the great swords. Just don't bring great swords, guys. They're not great. In fact, they're the opposite of great. Yeah. Don't bring great swords. Yeah, don't bring great swords. It's not gonna be worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, if I cut the great swords, I would have a lot more resources for other stuff, I guess. Because they are quite expensive at 850 per unit, which is the same as an Empire Knight. If I have 4 Empire Knights, I could have done more stuff for sure. Just more mobility and still quite decent hitting power, and using them to protect the flanks and the rear, like dealing with those Kosovo dervishes and whatnot. Because I only had 2 and they were a bit stretched thin. While the demigryphs were kind of occupied fighting the Griffin Legion or something. Like, Volkmar somehow smacked down on the Ice Witch, the Ice Witch, yeah. But yeah, that's about it from the guy. Yeah. GG to our opponent there, and we are moving on to round 4, I think. Yeah, we're moving on to round 4, and we're fighting High Elves from Empty Empires. I'm not sure who this seems to be a new player, or at least the first time showing up to yeah. maybe a first time showing up in the 20. Alright, let's find our next opponent. And set up our own lobby, perhaps. Okay, what's the map for this round? Cliff of Beasts. It's a pretty tight. Oh, actually, it's still a very open map. It's just somehow there's an impassable terrain at one of the corners. Alright, let's set things up, and we're playing against High Elves, so maybe I can try maybe I can try the Sunmaker attack again. Just need to get swords and yeah, get artillery. One cannon. That's all we're gonna take. What else? Right. We need this guy here to stock up the ammo on the Sunmaker in case we need to. What else? We need something to counteract enemy cavalry and monsters. Bring a bringing a unit of yeah, we don't have. Oh man, it's expensive. Right. Right, yeah, I'm not sure how to kill enemy cavalry with only these units. Because obviously the Demograph Knights are not gonna pull their weight here with our kind of build. So maybe I just need a few more bodies from the Empire to pull their weight or something? I need 100 more gold, which I'll just cut Soul Fire, I guess. No, I cut Grand Hammer of Sigmar and get another Halberdier. Wait, no, I stuff. Yeah, put Grand Soul of Faith back in. Just to bomb some light blobs or something. Yeah, alright. Well, I have Sunmaker. I shouldn't need to care about blobs. Yeah, that, and I don't have anything to kill single entities, which the Dark Elves are, High Elves are gonna bring some, I think. Cannon is not a great tool for killing anything. And heavy cav is gonna be a concern. Should I just bring a Demogryph Knight? Damn. Maybe I should. Maybe in the end I still need a Demogryph Knight. After all the crap I've talked about them. Just talking crap about Demogryphs. They're too expensive. Should putting one halberdiers on the Sunmaker maybe, and then get a couple of swords. And I have enough for a Demigryph Knight. Regular one. Alright, they're only committing when they see a Fireborn coming close. That's the only time they're going in for a fight. No other times are they supposed to go into a fight. Oh, wait, hold on. Right, I forgot Cliff of Beast got it. Cause Cliff of Beast had a used to look different on in Total Warhammer 2. I forgot about this revamp. It looks kind of like Southern Chaos Waste now. So there's that. Anyways, we have a lot of state troops. We just have to line them up to hold the enemy back, and buy more time for the Sunmaker to rain down righteous fury of gunpowder upon the enemy. Also, we need Volkmar and the Demigryphs at the back there to stabilize things and hold the line. What else? Ooh, our opponent was fast.
The Empire endures! Spear them! By Ulrich's wrath! We are Sigmar's heirs!
The Empire endures!
Ready for war!
Alright, 2 cavalry, 1, 2, this guy, bunker deployed. Everyone else just stay on, yep. Oh boy! Oh boy, that's a lot of archers. Oh, and they're backing up. Wise choice, I guess? That's a lot of cavalry though. Holy shit. Holy shit, that's a lot of cavalry. Can I take that down? Do I have enough troops? Do I have the tools to take that down? I do wonder. Anyways, Steel Faith and Gunpowder, guys. Steel Faith and Gunpowder. Oh, the range isn't that great on this guy. Alright, man, I need to pay more. I need to play more Empire. It's been a while. Okay, I mean, we can just capture the point and let them come to us. We have the artillery advantage here.
Marching! For Heldenhammer! Engineer! Soldiers!
You don't have to rush or anything. Just maybe hold a couple spears back on the artillery.
Halberdiers!
Yes!
Alright, pull back some of the troops and let the swordsmen stand in front.
Quick march!
We have the spears at the back.
Spearmen! No lingering!
Just multiple layers.
Gifted!
Marina, guide our aim!
Yeah, don't underestimate the crazy range of the Sunmaker. Alright, yeah, let's just push up a little bit to the front, and then you guys can stand a little bit further up, and then rain fire on those guys, shoot those, start shooting, and these are Dragon Princes, not too concerned about them right now. I wanna pummel some of these more expensive targets.
Yes, sir! By forge
Let the swordsman take the damage. Alright, the swordsmen are done for, but here comes our own cavalry, I guess.
Verena, guide our aim.
Right, let's turn on the attack buffs and get this thing going. Oh, and I forgot about protecting it. That's not great.
General, get them.
Right, just shoot them from the side, I guess.
Hellstorm rocket battery.
Ready for battle. Offering battle. We serve the Emperor.
Oh, didn't see those guys behind us. Alright, well. I was a bit too rash with the cavalry. Sallying them forth when I shouldn't. I should have kept them back. And that thing, the sword's just kind of dying in the front line. That was not great. That was very poorly done on my end, honestly. Although, it would have been a much better situation if I had, if I have something say,
Making it so.
if I have something like say, ooh, getting shot by archers now, huh?
Battle.
Yeah, if I have something say like say, Malkovs, that would have been neat.
Position. Sigma.
But yeah, anyways, let's just shoot up those dragon princes and stuff first. They came back, so we can turn and shoot.
Standing by.
Get some artillery back on our units.
Moving now.
We obey.
Swordsmen.
Pull back. Let's kill their lord.
Yes, sir. Quickly.
Archers keep pushing.
Moving.
Can we get them back on time and get one last volley onto these guys? Probably not, honestly.
We are Sigmar's heirs. Hellstorm. Cannons fire.
High priest. Withdraw. For Heldenhammer. Battle ready.
Volmar, what the hell is up with you today? Why are you so adamant in killing single entities?
Quickly.
Wait, when did you get behind me? Oh boy. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have pushed those units up. Definitely should have kept them back.
Mastercraft.
Because letting them just getting charged to death was a very poorly played tactic on my end. Oh boy.
Demogryph Knights. Ready.
Now the high elves are even dropping down on the ground. Oh boy.
At speed.
Alright, the halberdiers are done for, so I'm gonna let I mean, the spears are done for, I'm gonna let the halberdiers do the thing.
To battle. Engineer. I have them. Offering battle prayers. Sigma calls. Formation march. Immediately. Sigma. Now. Sir. Ready for battle. Without delay. Double time. With speed. Ready. Yes, sir,
Alright,
quickly.
no magic is the problem here.
Charge.
Oh, the chariot! The lion chariot!
Swordsman.
Just held on.
For the Emperor. Withdraw.
Spearman. Yes, sir. Quickly.
Oh, come over here, actually.
Ready.
Dude, you're needed over here.
Demogryph Knights. That's on order.
Alright, hold the line.
Engineer.
That probably did more damage to them than to me, honestly. But yeah, anyways, we are not in a good position either ways.
Bring them.
The healing is too much. Oh, maybe I should have brought in the fire banner. Ugh. But that's only on the regular warrior priest. It doesn't show up on Volkmar.
Sigma preserve.
Oh shit! No way! How did I forget about these guys? That was a very bad mistake on my man. I need to. Man, am I rusty? That was an embarrassing play. How did I forget about these guys? they almost see no action at all. Holy crap.
Firearm. Sigma guides us. Halberdiers! Swordsman! Take the ground! By Ulrich's wrath!
Alright. Alright. These Empire Knights being forgotten at the far corner of battlefield. I definitely could have used them to protect the backline. Maybe counter the charges of the Dragon Princes a bit better even.
Sigma preserve us! Wipe them out! Yes, General! Quickly! For the Emperor! Over there! In motion! A new view! Now! For France!
Alright. I think that's about it.
Tinkerer! Go!
That is the end. Steel Faith and Gunpowder failed. No. It's the Gunpowder doing all the work here. The Steel and Faith was not cutting it. Oh, the Demigryph Knights actually did decent work. But unfortunately, the Sunmaker didn't have a lot of good targets because mostly it's just cavalry on the field. And it's really hard for them to hit cavalry. The rockets themselves don't have the fastest projectile speed. And doesn't really track the moving cavalry well. And yeah, definitely the infantry is not enough to hold the line. Because I mostly just let them stand there and die to the devastating charges of Dragon Princes. I probably should have send something like spears in front, or even just send the Empire Knights to absorb those charges, because they have heavier armor and can tank those hits a little bit better. The Empire Knights being forgotten throughout most of the game was also a very painful mistake on my end. My opponent played really well with the mobility, hitting and running, keeping the army mobile, and just moving around, striking the weak spots, isolating my units, and striking the weak spots. Very nicely done by my opponent here. And GG to my opponent there. Let me just check. Let me just check the battles here. Alright, yeah, I think that's 4 rounds of battles, and we'll be moving on into the replay section soon, as we do have quite a few replays to go through. Alright, give me a second. Let me just organize the replay files. Yeah, since we do have quite a few replays today. Of course, not everyone's sending in their replays, because sometimes they don't think it's worthy of replay. It might be a very quick game, or just not very exciting, or that sort. So yeah, we are going to show what we are collecting. Yeah, we're going to show whatever we're collecting, and then yeah, that's going to be that. But yeah, let me just quickly download all the replay files, and then we can start casting replays. Hello, David. Welcome back. Hope everyone's excited for the DLC coming in roughly 2 weeks. Roughly 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. Just getting some multiplayer action before we are jumping in on that. Let me just check. Replays. Do we have everything? Well, that's not as many as I thought. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 12. I think some replays aren't showing up for some weird reason. Oh, because some of them had a change. Give me a second. Got some replay files that isn't named correctly, so I'm just gonna quickly change them up. I think that's fine now. Okay, so these 4s are what we played, and then everything else is what we're gonna cast. Oh, we got more replays coming in. Give me a second. Man, I need to figure out how to work with yeah, I need to figure out how to work with the Sunmaker properly again, because Sunmaker with the ability to restock ammo had insane potential, I think. It just needs to freaking survive to shoot everything. That's the only problem there. What if I get a Master Engineer, Master of Ballistics, restock, and then Mechanical Steed, or Barded Warhorse? That's the cheaper one. And then, do we have anything that can help with reload on these guys? Huntsman General does help with reload, but the flaming imbuement is wasted here. Wait, maybe in the next version there's a chance that Sunmaker can work. So, my idea is Engineer helps reload with Master of Ballistics. Huntsman General helps reload with the Hail of Fire. Now, if we add in throw in some Lore of Heavens magic, which now it's not shown on here because we are still on the public build, the official 6.3. Whatever build. 6.3.3, I think. Whatever. But in the new build, in DLC build, Harmonic Convergence at reload speed. So if we throw in the Harmonic Convergence, use Master of Ballistics, which is a passive, and then also activate Hail of Fire, maybe the Sunmaker will be launching in insane speed. Maybe we're onto something here. You have nothing to defend it. Sunmaker is fine, but not an Empire roster. Yeah, but what if it can shoot all its ammo before the enemy can reach it? I don't know if that's gonna actually work, but I'm tempted to try it. It probably won't work, but I'm tempted to try it. And actually, let me just check the 20. I think this might be okay. There's still one more battle ongoing, so we'll conclude that afterwards. Yeah. Oh, you forgot to input score? Okay, fair. Oh, right, yeah, you already sent in the replay file. Yeah, okay. Give us that. Let me just quickly announce the tournament result on Discord. But yeah, do we have maybe sorry, let me just theory craft a little bit more then. Maybe, just maybe, the Sunmaker can have a use here if he can just empty all his ammo. And then before the enemy can reach it or anything. But yeah, the Sunmaker extremely expensive and the Empire doesn't have a lot of protection for the backline. The front line is a bit fragile, and the cavalry is still a bit weak on the Empire side. So yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's a maybe. It's a very much a maybe thing. But I want to test it out. I just want to try it. Nothing stopping me from fucking around with all these new tools, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it for the live battles. We are going into the replay section here, starting with VM Flowers Vampire Counts versus the Lizardman. The Lizardman not going with the blob build, instead going... Wait, hold on. Clicked the wrong one, but you know what? We'll just roll with it, actually. Dark Elves from Mr. Krotek versus MTK Turin. Not the Turin that everyone knows. This is the very specific MTK Turin. A different person. But yeah, let's slow down a bit, check out the armies on the Dark Elf side here. Going with quite a heavy skirmish contingent here. 1 Dark Riders with 3 Skirt Runner Chariots, a front line of Dread Spears, and on the flank some Koan Knights, and actually more Dark Riders here. 4 Koan Knights, 2 Dark Riders, very symmetrical formation here. And in the skies, Marathi coming in, of course, with Soul Stealer, with Melkos, Mystifying Miasma as well, and Power of Darkness to get more magic. On the other side, for the Lizard Men, a front line of Skin Cohorts, backed up by a bunch of Croxagors to beat up the enemy infantry with their monstrous presence, Skin Skirmishers, and some Koan Spear Riders on the flanks. In the stat center here, Court of Sotek, providing a very solid offensive core. And in the skies, Tanhuan with Flock of Doom and Flock of Doom only to drain down the rather expensive Dark Elves troops. Alright, let's see what happens here. Do we have any special units outside of Court of Sotek? No, none at all. So rather simple army structures on both sides. And the Skirt Runners are beginning to move up and try and skirmish. They want to turn off fire at will. Like, because if you don't, they will start shooting at whatever closest target they can see. If you don't, before they get the first shooting order. Like, they just shot at the Skin Cohorts and with very little effect. Now they're shooting at the Croxagors, which is what they're supposed to shoot at, and now they're shooting back at the Skin Cohort again, wasting their very valuable shots. But yeah, probably should stop assigning Schwarzhofen as a map on the tournament because we can't see shit. Yeah. Scourge Runner Chariots are pulling back though, getting blow darted by a bunch of skink skirmishers. They don't want to stay around for too long and take too much unnecessary damage. Again, turn off. I know the player can't hear me right now, and this game is already set. But yeah, turn off Fire Will on the Scourge Runner Chariots. It's really sad to see all these ammo being spent on skinks when they could have done a lot more damage onto the Kroxigors, which they need. But yeah, right now is a lot of skirmishing play. It's just the Scourge Runner Chariots spending very minimal value here. Ooh, Soul Stealer onto one Kroxigor unit, but there's so many other units just sitting there not taking the damage. So I wouldn't say this is the best use of the magic, but hey, I guess might as well just get some damage and get some healing on Marathi. She's taking way too many blow dots. Oh, at least the Scourge Runners are shooting the right targets now, launching some shots into the Cohen Spear Riders and getting some pretty good value. The Skinks though have occupied that capture point and just holding them off there. Yeah, they're just holding the capture point. We can just fast forward a bit. Oh no! Tanhun has been Flock of Dooming all these Cohen Spear Riders, and the Dark Elves are just not really responding. 1,000 gold worth of damage value already just on Flock of Doom? God damn! But yeah, over here Koan Knights are tangling up with Cohen Spear Riders, but over here they picked up too much of a fight. They got a good engagement on the Koan Spear Riders, who got some damage from the Scourge Runner Chariots, but the counter charge of the Kroxigors are just beating them up. Soul Stealer though getting a really nice blob of Kroxigor, Skinks, and Koan Cavalry. Over here though, the Koan Knights are being left alone, being poisoned, and also shot in this flank. They are losing that fight. While Marathi advancing way ahead of herself deep into Skink territory. Not only is she losing the fight against Tan Huan, but also she was shot from all sides by a bunch of blow dots. That is not great. She needs to get the hell out of there. So yeah, and at the same time, the Dark Elves are just not throwing units into the right. Yeah, keeping a lot of units just sitting back idly. It's also my mistake. Throwing in mobility, but the rest of the units are like throwing in bits of the units, letting them die, and just leaving the rest of the army just not doing much. Especially the final battle. No. Anyways, Marathi finally pushing back Tan Huan, getting some decent fight after the Scourge Runner Chariots decided to support with their own firepower. But overall, the Lizardman still has the control of the capture point. Although some Skink blow darts are overextending and allowing the Scourge Runner chariots. They might be missiles, but they're still chariots after all. Getting a nice charge and just running them over. But I think they're still on fire at will, right? So they're probably still firing at the closest Skinks and wasting their ammo. But yeah, the Skinks are just very patiently holding their ground and waiting for the capture point to tick in with all that damage, with all that victory tickets. A Flock of Doom probably could have, yeah, not that there are any better blobs honestly. So yeah, still getting some decent value from the Dark Riders before Tan Huan goes down, as she's losing this fight against a unit with healing and has anti-large. And yeah, he needs to get back on the ground so that some Koan Spear Riders can just help protect him. But yeah, alas, that's too late. Tan Huan goes down and Marathi survives, but balance of power is in favor of the Lizardmen, as the Kroxigors and Skinks combined can beat up Dread Spears, no problem indeed. And the Scourge Runner Chariots are running low on ammo. Some of them are even caught by some tattered Koan Spear Riders, while the capture point still holding on by those Lizardmen. Especially they have the Court of Soltec on the ground, right? So even if in the end the rest of the Lizardmen army got wiped out and things are at like what 550s, let's say, capture points, they can still hold on and pop that refuse to die. Just keep holding on until the timer runs out for their enemies. Plus they're unbreakable, so it's pretty neat. Anyways, the Scourge Runner Chariots chasing down the Skinks, but then that also led them into the cold embrace of the Koan Spear Riders, and they got slaughtered. Not that they have much ammo to use anyways, but they could have still been used to just run down infantry. But yeah, I think that is it for the Dark Elves, and that's army losses. Very patiently played by MTK Turin there, just holding back all their forces, waiting for their opponents to come to them, while using Flock of Doom to drain down all those troops. And when their opponent is making mistakes, just capitalize on them with their responses. Yeah. And the Dark Elves unfortunately didn't turn off fire at will on the Scourge Rider chariots. They could have done a lot more against the Crossgoers, but yeah, that was unfortunate. And yeah, the Koan Spear Riders for once actually winning out against the Koan Knights, being supported by the Skink Blow Dot, poisoning those Koan Cavalry, and then the Koan Spear Riders were able to beat them out in a head-on fight. Plus, of course, a little bit of infantry and crossgoer support does help a lot as well. Yeah, GG to both players here. We're moving on to the next battle. Actually, wait. I saw I clicked on. Oh, this was the Vampire Counts. That was okay. That was the last replay of the day. Give me a second. Hold on. Let me quickly check something on the Discord. Alright, next up we have Norska versus dumbass Tinge. Why? What's wrong with Tinge? Anyways, Norskin going in with a heavy front line. 3 Marauder champions, you don't see these guys often. They are not regarded as a great infantry, but still, with heavy armor and shields, they definitely have a place here on a battle against Tinge to mitigate all the incoming fire. Well, very literal fire indeed. And then a bunch of Javelin Marauder Horsemen. 4 of them. In fact, actually, let's slow down and go through the army build. Front line of Marauder champions as the core of the backbone of the front line, flanked by Marauders and Spears. And then on the flanks, Norskin Ice Wolves and Norskin Skin Wolves. 4 more units of Marauder Horsemen for skirmishing firepower, because you know Tinge is gonna bring skirmish fire in the form of Marauder Horsemen of Tinge. Anyways, so it's very nice to have your own units to counter fire at them, plus shooting up air units like the Shrieking Sky Rays or Furies and that sort of stuff. Frog leading the army with a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal with Searing Doom to bombard enemy troops and Armored Debuff. Plague of Rust, really nice stuff against Tinge. I would say I probably would even try to bring some Famirs, because I just love Famirs. Yeah, I probably would have tried to fit some Famirs on this build, maybe cut the Marauder Champions even, just to bring Famirs, because they are so good against mitigating missile damage. When they have more than 50% leadership, they mitigate like 50% missile damage, and they have heavy armor, so all those javelins, the pink and blue fire, even stuff like blue fire of Tinge would be very limited in terms of fire, in terms of damage against Famirs. Anyways, right, for the Tinge army, a front line of Forsaken to try and plow through the Marauder infantry, but they will have a tough nut to crack today, because the Marauder champions with heavy armor and high melee defense will be a challenge for the Forsaken, with only 42 melee attack versus the 53 defense on those Marauder champions. On the flanks, there are some Chaos Knights of Tinge and Shrieking Sky Rays, and a bunch of Marauder Horsemen with of Tinge with javelins, and in the skies leading the army is Kairos Fate Weaver. Let's get the battle started as Kairos is moving over to the flank. Will he drop in that Gaze of Fate and lock the enemy down? We shall see. Or maybe he will just spam Tinge Firestorm and Blue Fire of Tinge. Tinge Firestorm, a very powerful spell, and can delete a lot of... Oh, you do not want to blob up your Marauder Horsemen there. Oh no, here comes the Tinge Firestorm. Yeah, jumping in, locking them down with a Gaze of Fate. Tinge Firestorm. There we go. massive damage to those Murder Horsemen, and yeah, that's one unit gone. And on top of that, the Skin Wolves charging in. Oh, their regeneration means they take additional damage from the Siege Firestorm, and getting slapped a bit by Chaos Fate Weaver as well. The rest of the armies are also colliding, with the Murder Champions taking quite a bit of damage on the charge by Chaos Knights and enemy Marauders. I guess it's more of the javelin shooting at them or something. But yeah, that Firestorm definitely hurt. One unit of Murder Horsemen gone. A second unit also taking a lot of damage, being stuck in melee. Skin Wolves and Ice Wolves charging into battle, and they're duking it out against the Chaos Knights with the Plague of Rust upgraded version, lowering their armor down to 50. Yeah, they should be able to get some okay damage. But if there's an Armor Sundering nearby, if there's a Famir, they would be down to like, what, 30 armor? Which would have been even better. But yeah, that's why I would bring Famir. That's why you always want to bring Famir. Nah, just kidding. You don't necessarily have to bring them. But I personally just really like them with that armor debuff synergy. Mr. Teufel taught me that, and I've just been using that all the time when I'm playing as Noska. But yeah. Anyways, Murder Champions holding the line, but with multiple units just clashing into them. They beat up the Forsaken no problem. They took some damage, of course, because 80 armor isn't the most insane in the world. But still, it's they managed to beat up the enemy infantry. Searing Doom onto enemy cavalry is such a good block clearing spell. Whether you're an infantry, cavalry, or sometimes even multi-entity monsters, you always take noticeable damage from Searing Doom. Sometimes even if you're a single entity, if you're big enough, you also take damage. But yeah, Murder Horsemen are duking it out in melee against Shrieking Skyrays. That's interesting. Maybe send some Ice Wolves over and help out. But yeah, Kairos, why are you on the ground? Why are you tussling with Frog? Milky Way, I really overslept. Classic. Wait, are you living in Down Under or something? I swear you might be in a very different time zone from wherever I am. So, I feel like that's why we always, unfortunately, miss you. And now you're Searing Doom onto the Chaos Knights. Nice damage. Decent damage overall, but nothing too insane. Not as good as the one before. And yeah, the Murder Horseman just doesn't have any good targets to fight right now. As there are just too many spears, too many dogs and wolves around the battlefield. Maybe the best Oh, the Firestorm. Deleting whatever left on this Skin Wolf unit. Oh boy. That was painful. You live in holy crap. We're literally in the same time zone. What schedule are you living? Are you working? Never mind. I'm not gonna go into your private stuff, but yeah, man, your schedule is really cooked. You're right. Your schedule is cooked. Yeah, anyways, holy crap, that Firestorm, man. Half a unit of Skin Wolves just gone like that. Oh, that might bring the Siege army back into the fight. Losing a Skin Wolf like that, big deal, and it's a big deal in the late game. But one thing that the Norskins have, but the Siege army doesn't, is healing. And those Chaos Knights, one got bombed by Searing Doom and got dragged down by a bunch of Skin Wolves in melee. And this one over here also getting eaten up, chewed up by all those Ice Wolves, and Throg himself in the fight. The Armor Sundering coming in really nice, as the Norskin Ice Wolves have decent-ish weapon strength and can really benefit from that armor debuff. And yeah, the Ice Wolves doing some really good stuff now. They're charging into the Forsaken with Skin Wolves. The Norskins are just kind of grouping up at this point. Most of their army, most of their army are quite tattered, with only a couple strong units left holding in the fight. Marauder Spears are just sitting there eating javelins, trying to absorb all the damage for their Liege Lord and the Skin Wolves. Because if those javelins eat all the went into the Marauder Spears, that means there are less missile damage onto the Skin Wolves, who can definitely just fight through everything else in melee. So yeah, very wisely the Siege player tried to pull back the Murder Horsemen and leave them for the best target they're shooting. Maybe Frog too. They need... are there enough javelins against all these... mostly the Skin Wolves and Frog. Now the Team Javelins do have fire damage, so they can do extra damage to Frog and the Skin Wolves. But one unit is almost out of all out of ammo. The other two also close to running out. Yeah, we shall see. Let's fast forward here as the Norskins, knowing that they cannot outrun all 3 units of Marauder Horsemen, decided to just sit back and hold on to the capture point. Oh, Kairos Fate Weaver is really tempting fate here, being hit by the frostbite from all those Norskin Ice Wolves. He might get trapped in a fight against Kairos, but no, it looks like the Ice Wolves are routed. Unfortunately, the Firestorm is not hitting anything proper. Oh, it's a Gaze of Fate onto the Skin Wolves. This should have been where the Firestorm went. And a massive bombardment here, but unfortunately RNG is not favoring Siege today. A lot of the shots just concentrated on the other side of, but still, oh, that's half a unit of the Skin Wolves gone, and on top of the javelins and all that. Oh, that is some brutal damage. Imagine if there's a Firestorm here. That Ice Wolf unit would be dead. Skin Wolf unit, sorry. Ice Wolf have been routed earlier, but the Skin Wolves would have been dead if that was a Firestorm right in the middle of those lockdown Skin Wolves. But as right now, the balance of power is not in the Tsintian's favor. As the Skin Wolves survive with 12 unit models still intact, so there's still plenty of healing ready to come in. Battlefield littered with dead, and a few unit models of dead Skin Wolves from the bombardment. Some very brutal damage, but the Skin Wolves are still healing, and the javelins are all out. Maybe a couple of volleys left on these guys, but the rest are all out, and they still need to kill Throg, which I don't see how they're gonna do it, unless maybe Kairos goes back into the sky and starts spamming blue fire. I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen here. One more Siege Firestorm, but RNG once again not favoring Siege. Such is the method of the Changer of Ways. Yeah. Such as the finicky temper and schemes of the Changer of Faith. Changer of Ways, not Changer of Faith. Changer of Ways. Well. I think that is... But yeah, the Skin Wolves are routed. They have taken quite a bit of damage from all that combat attrition, and now the Marauder Horsemen can chase them down, and they definitely should chase them down. There's still one unit of Marauder Champions. We haven't really highlighted them so far, because they don't have the most exciting maneuver, let's be honest here. But they held on and just keeping that capture point under their control. Now that there's only Marauder Horsemen left on the battlefield, nothing really can threaten them in melee. Now, blue fire, that's a whole different thing, right? But Kairos, I guess, is just gonna keep that distance and just keep spamming those blue fire until everything's dead on the other side. And yes, I mentioned before, those Marauder Horsemen will chase down those Skin Wolves till the very last wolf they have. Let's do fast forward here as how are you still there, freaking Skyrays? Yeah, they somehow still managed to survive here. But yeah, it's just Throg and the Marauder Champions trying to hold the line. Throg is definitely gonna be the slapstick character, beating everything else coming close. But the problem is he's running out of troops. The capture weight is dwindling. Maybe if there's enough blue fire spam onto the guy. Okay, the Marauder Champions are all routed, and Throg can only be at so many places at once. So he wasn't able to do a lot of counter punch against the very fast moving Marauder Horsemen. Now the blue fire and the Bolt of Change are being spammed to try and nuke down Throg, exploiting his fire weakness and slowing his regeneration as well. But the capture point is still in the hands of Norskins, and yeah, this forces the Siege army to quickly engage. They only have like 40 seconds left on the battlefield. They need to either capture the point or nuke down Throg to a point of army losses. Can they do it? The capture point is not shifting into their hands yet, though. They need all the troops they can get to just get the capture point, lock it down before the timer runs out. Looks like Kairos Fate Weaver is body blocking Throg, denying him from reaching that capture point. And Throg might want to just try and force path his way through, but it's not happening. But the capture point is not going into the hands of Siege, even with oh no, this unit of Marauder Horsemen. I think it might be barely outside of... it's barely outside of the capture point. It might not actually count it in the capture weight. I can't see what's actually capturing the point. Unfortunately, there's no way to tell. But, oh no. Still halfway to go on the capture point and only less than 10 seconds left. And that, I think, shall be the victory of the Norskins as Frog footslog his way back into the capture point. That was a close one. A very patient play by the Norskins. Unfortunately, the time was not on the team side. And Captain Tillis holds the point and get the win. What the fuck? The Marauder champions held the point. And yeah, they managed to grind through a good chunk of the enemy troops, beating up the Forsaken. Some of them got shot by javelins and stuff, but overall they did very well. Unfortunately, the Skin Wolves are a bit meh in the beginning, in the midway of the battle. One of them getting firestormed. Unfortunately, that was just inevitable, man. That's just unavoidable. So it's more of a firestorm problem. But yeah, that I feel like if the firestorm we saw in the mid-late game ish, that missed most of its target, could have been placed in a better spot, the Teenage Army probably would have a better chance. Probably could have even win this. But unfortunately, yeah, the Skin Wolves survived for quite a long time. These Skin Wolves, not these. And the Marauder champions held on. They just keep standing their ground, being the defensive tanky unit they are, pushing back those Marauder champions in the late game, and at the beginning grind through all those Forsaken. That was a very nicely done by them. And unfortunately, the Chaos Knights of Teenage just didn't have a lot of good targets in this battle. Maybe they should have just fight the Skin Wolves. Maybe. Can't say for sure. But yeah, the Javelins did some pretty good damage. Not enough to earn back their... this one was not able to recover their worth, though. I wonder what they were shooting at. Oh yeah, at the beginning, at the start of the battle, they were shooting at a bunch of Marauders and Champions. That might have limited their damage output because of all that armor and shields. But yeah, Kairos Fate Weaver, all those Firestorm, man. But yet, the Norskin army managed to hold the point and win the day. Man, these Norskin's Ice Wolves were eating up a lot of stuff. Yeah. Just chewing up all those. Alright, yeah, some of them were able to chew up some Chaos Knights because of the Plague of Rust. Plague of Rust, never to be underestimated, is a very nice spell for low tier units to challenge high tier units just by nuking their armor. Alright, now Frozen Core asked Beastman versus VM Flower as Vampire Counts with a very healy Lord. Man, this Strigoi Vampire Lord is a very powerful fighter. Not only does it has anti-large armor piercing, it also has a shit ton of self-regenerating abilities. Like this Ghoul King of Ushuran, essentially a regrowth. Without Winds of Magic, by the way. They brought the Ghoul Summon? Are they gonna get the Crypt Horror Summon, or are they gonna do the Ghoul Summon? I wonder. But yeah, Ghoul King of Ushuran is very good with the heals. But anyways, for the army builds, rest of our army builds, other than the Strigoi on the Vampire Terrorgeist, a front line of zombies and zombies only, a second line of skeleton spears for some anti-large and slightly sturdier presence, and multiple Blood Knights. Yes, multiple Blood Knights with their anti-large attacks. In disguise, Vargeist to drop down on the enemies and break them with a shock troops. And on the other side, for the Beastmen, a front line of Ungor Spearhearts and Gorehearts mixed in. They have shields. Ungor Raiders for their cheap, cost-efficient missiles. Minotaurs with great weapons to hack down big giant monsters, great for killing the Terror guys. And Sons of Goros also having armor piercing to cut through armored defenses. Not that there's a whole lot of armor, but yeah, the Blood Knights, that's gonna be a target for sure. Feral Manticore, not sure what's the purpose of this guy, so yeah, I don't feel like you want to bring a Feral Manticore against a Vampire Count's army, because Terror is not gonna work against them, and there's no missiles for you to disrupt with that Feral Manticore. So I would probably advise bringing stuff like, just cut it and bring something else, honestly. Throwing Axes or something. Brave Shaman and the Strigoi Vampire Lord is going on a Spirit Leech duel, but bad news for the Brave Shaman though. he's gonna lose it because he doesn't have healing, while the Strigoi Vampire Lord does have that healing to mitigate those Spirit Leech damage. Yeah. Let's speed up the battles a bit. And even dropping a Terrorgeist Breath onto the Brave Shaman. And he's just chilling in the skies here. If his HP gets low, he can always just pop that Gold King of Ushoran to bring that HP back. Now, as the Spirit Leech though, it's not gonna go well for the Brave Shaman. Well, at least the Manticore is venturing out to fight it, but as you can see, it's taking a shit ton of damage. Considering part of the damage that the Strigoi Vampire Lord has taken is from Spirit Leeches and Archer Fire. While at the same time, the front line is engaging zombies duking out against Gores and Angors. And Gores are gonna win that one against zombies, but not with the Blood Knights helping out. And I assume the Vargeist are moving into airdrop position, ready to just jump on some poor Angors, I assume. The Feral Manticore is quickly getting shredded in melee, and also the Blood Knights are coming in. Minotaurs are holding back in reserve. Maybe it's a good time for them to just jump in and try and fight some Blood Knights. The second unit of Blood Knights also have moved all the way from the other side of the battlefield over to the right flank as well. So both Blood Knights are here. Wait, is it just one Blood Knight? Or yeah, both Blood Knights are here. One on here, one over here. And they're pushing straight through the enemy front line, nuking down the Feral Manticore, and the Strigoi Vampire Lord is back over 75% HP. Man, this thing's tanky as fuck. Blood Knights are probably going to charge in on the Angor Raiders, maybe? No, the Minotaurs are still at the back there holding in reserve, so they don't want to tussle with it just yet, until they got zombies and spears to support. But at the same time, the Angors and Gores are obliterated in the frontline fights. Oh, that's pretty bad for the Beastmen. There's nothing to protect their backline anymore. The Vari guys still haven't seen any action just yet. Ooh, actually, no, I take that back. They most certainly have charged down some poor infantry on the ground. Yeah, these guys haven't seen any action though. Very minor damage overall. Yeah. A very good units to rear charge and shock the units into routing, especially when the Strigoi Vampire Lord is somewhere around to apply that terror. But yeah, these guys are just going to be routing off the Sons of Goros, who have taken too much damage in frontline attrition. Archers are firing at the Strigoi Vampire Lord, who is close to healing cap. Not that it matters anymore since the Spirit Leech is gone. Nothing really to fight him. Oh, Morgor the Shadow Gave. Forgot that you're here for 1 second there. Dropped in a summon. I think he might have used up all his summons. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Spirit Essence of Chaos is still there. But, not that it's gonna be any good valor against zombies. I guess you get a new Chaos Spawn, but... Oh, the Minotaurs are being left at the back here. If the Blood Knights charge in over there, they could have got some great valor. But yeah, they decided to go after the Vargeist, and the Blood Knights then took the chance to charge in. Oh, but they're now surrounding the Gold King, who is almost at healing cap. The Gold King of Ushoran's skill is just such good healing, man. Now the Blood Knights are just gonna run over some poor Angor Raiders. Oh, they got a movement order. They didn't get an attack order on the Angor Raiders, so they're trying to move past them. And they just walked onto a speed bump, slowed down, allowing the Minotaurs to countercharge. I didn't even realize the Horrocks Man Reapers are there. And they just cut through all the zombies, getting some decent kill count. And not a lot of damage, though. It's just zombies, after all. Now they're just trying to tie down the Blood Knights. But Strigoi Vampire Lord coming in with Crypt Ghouls, trying to surround those Minotaurs, trying to deny them from running out of there. And get some infantry support as well against these anti-large troops. While the Angor Raiders are still holding on with Morgor the Shadow Gave. Minos are duking out in the front line still, but against Spears and Vargeist are there as well. I'm sure these Blood Knights also did some good damage against them. Yeah. So yeah, one Mino is almost down. The other I haven't seen a whole lot of action, but now finally just cutting through some Vargeist. And oh wait, no, they were surrounding the Necromancers for a bit there. But yeah, there's the one full health Blood Knight, while the one healthy Minotaurs are too occupied by trying to kill the Strigoi Vampire Lord, opening them up to a rear charge from those Blood Knights, and then some retreated Vargeist managed to come back and deliver a rear charge. And this Minotaur, just look how quickly it goes down. with the HP being cut down by all those Blood Knights, the Varghei's charge, and just absolutely getting nuked to bits with an Alpha Strike. And there goes that Minotaurs in a matter of seconds. Some summon Chaos Bones are trying to help, but yeah, they're not gonna bring this back up. Oh wait, Crypt Horror summon. Did they even notice that? A Crypt Horror was summoned on the battlefield, basically body blocking the Chaos Bones and denying them from charging in and helping those Minos. Very nicely done by VM Flower here. Like, the Crypt Horrors are actually a pretty bad summon, but I guess the extra mass is worth it over here. But yeah, Gorg's Man Reapers are trying to come back and help, but they're just gonna get harassed by the Blood Knights, and I think that's gonna be GG. Morgan the Shadowgave is gonna take some time to kill, so we're gonna fast forward here. As the Chaos Spawn disappeared, Gorg's Man Reapers are reaching in and trying to get a fight, but army losses hit. Alright, let's look at what happened to that second Minotaur earlier. I wasn't really paying attention to the Minos. Alright, let's fast forward here. Right, what happened to this Mino? How did it die? Oh shit, sorry. Let me just mute my device. Oh, so how did it die? Yeah, this Strigoi Vampire Lord took so much damage and still surviving solely because of that Gold King of Ushoran ability. It's such a good healing proc, man. Not healing proc, but healing ability. Yeah, these Minos have been standing idle for quite a while. Did he just not move and got charged or something? Oh no, the Sons of Goros were not moving and just got charged by Blood Knights. They're not a tanky unit, and look at how quick they died to a Blood Knight charge. They try to mount up some counter attacks, but yeah, that's not gonna work too well for them. Alright, these Minos engaged in battle got recharged by a bunch of Varghei's and surrounded by spears. That explains. That's a lot of spears for them to fight as well. And also Blood Knights moving in, surrounding them and just ripping them up. Yep, that's unfortunate for these Minos. Alright. Wait, hold on. We haven't looked at the damage value yet, I don't think. But yeah, Morgan the Shadowgave haven't been really doing much, killing a lot of zombies and skeletons, but he's tanky, but tanky doesn't win you the game here. You need to kill things. Well, sometimes it wins you the game like Frog, but yeah. Alright, let's have a look at the damage value. The Blood Knights absolutely earned back their value there. Maybe almost. Not absolutely, but yeah. They got some pretty good value overall and still having a lot of fight left in them. The Gold King of... the Gold King of Ushoran on this Strigoi Vampire Lord, it's just so good. He healed cap so soon in the game. Healing all the damage from the archers, from the spirit leeches, and from the melee as well. And Varghei's, one of them died pretty early. Well, they didn't really... Oh, actually... They didn't really die, but more like just haven't really engaged in the fight and chasing off routing units instead. But yeah, the Blood Knights still have heavy lifting, and the Varghei's also did some good damage, while the Minos and the Sons of Goros were a bit mismicroed on the Beastman side. And yeah, the Gores and Ungores unfortunately didn't get a good fight. Just killing a lot of zombies and skellies, but that means not a whole lot of value. And with the Gold King, with the Strigoi Vampire Lord and the Varghei's dropping them, And Vampire Count's Blood Knights jumping them. They are just not a very sturdy unit overall. Alright, next up we have Seitang again, but actually by Grand Cafe. It is Seitang plus Yuanbo, and a line of Peasant Long Spears, a line of Jade Warriors, 3 crossbows, 2 of them Jade Warrior crossbows, one Celestial Dragon crossbow, the Grace of Kuei Yin with their Mark of Yin, minus 20% missile resistance, minus missile block chance, and reduced armor. In this guy is the Empress Crowman. Regiment of Renowned Onyx Crowman with their hand grenades, Seitang the Watcher, ready to snipe some units from afar, and a bunch of Iron Hail Gunners. So yeah, classic Cathay box. Yuanbo is coming in with the Net of Amentok, Shim's Burning Gaze, and Jade Shield. Of course, he has his executioning ability, but that's about it. On the other side, we have the High Elves, a line of Lothan Seaguard. This might actually work against other Cathay. If they have fire rain rockets, then this is probably gonna suck. But Lothan Seaguard do have a decent range and can outshoot those Iron Hail Gunners. And they might even have enough numbers here with a whole line of these, 5 of them in total. Just focus down the Jade Warriors as well. But the problem is, can they hold up against the firepower of 3 crossbows and a Seitang and some maybe magic support from Yuanbo with Shim's Burning Gaze, which can be decent against infantry now. We shall see. A couple War Lions and 2 Lion Chariots, really investing on those armor-piercing anti-infantry then. And some Elam Reavers on the flanks. 1 single Swordmasters of Hoev. They might have to be careful with using this unit, because Iron Hail Gunners are definitely going to focus it down. And leading the army is an Archmage of Life, Earthblood, and Regrowth. Let's see what happens here then. Seitang the Watcher no doubt is going to start shooting. And the prime target is the caster, other than... Yep, the caster is gonna get sniped. That's rough to say the least. And there's nothing really to shut down Seitang. There's no single entity fighters, and there's no anti-large cavalry or anything like that. So Seitang is just gonna be free to just keep walking up and shooting that poor Archmage. Archers are in the site, and they are trying to shoot at Seitang. Seitang have a lot of armor though, and missile resistance, so it's not gonna be effective. I'd rather just try and send something in to the center of the box, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd rather just shoot the Jade Warriors, because you're now getting counter shoot. Granted, the Lothan Seaguard do have their own shields, so they can just block some of the shots, mitigate the shots a bit and whatnot. But oh wait, this is where Mark of Yin comes in, I guess. Just nuking that shielded missile block chance a bit down to 5%. Oh wait, down to bronze shield. They have silvers to begin with. Yeah, and you can see they're taking a lot of damage. And there's nothing to shut down those missiles so far. The Lion Chariots are just sitting back. The Lions are sitting back. Infantry are not going in to fight. No, you need to send those things in. You need them in the melee fight. At least the archers are shutting down Iron Hail Gunners. And oh, nice damage from the chariots though. But yeah, War Lions need to go in. The cavalry are trying to charge, but they're charging into spears, so not great for them, I guess. But yeah, some of the shots are... Oh, at least some of the archers are being disrupted right now. But Yuanbo has moved up and tried to catch those Lion Chariots, and indeed he has managed to do that. Plus Seitang providing fire support, shutting down some of the Lion Chariots before they can even see melee. At least one of the Lion Chariots are in, disrupting one of the crossbows, but ooh, nice stuff. Grace of Kuei Yin here, buffing up those... Grace of Kuei Yin being buffed up by the Jade Shield, with added damage resistance to block some of the incoming shots and stuff like that, but I don't think they're being shot up at all. And the Sword Masters are still just slowly sauntering into the battlefield. Alright, Lion Chariots, despite all the damage it took, did a great charge onto the Grace of Kuei Yin, and most importantly, denying them from continuing their shooting. Routed Iron Hail Gunners have got out of the protection of the box and are now being chased down by 11 Reavers. And the missile core of this cafe box is largely compromised. Seitan is still online though. Jade Warriors crossbows are still online. Archers, Love and Seagull are firing back, trying to whittle down those enemy crossbows, and indeed they have succeeded in dealing with the Grace of Kuei Yin now. Moving on to the Jade Warrior shields and whatnot. The Illyrian Reavers really needs to narrow their formation and sneak through these gaps. These are massive gaps, and you can get your cavalry through no problem. Anyways, the infantry are largely being ignored right now. A wise choice, I would say. Just making sure that they can't... just kind of ignoring them going into weakened parts of that cafe box would be very nice. And yeah, the left part of the box has been opened up. The infantry has been dealt with by the sword masters, now cutting straight through all those cafe Jade Warriors like a hot knife through butter, and allowing some of the Illyrian Reavers to just kind of sneak through and get on to shut down the Jade Warriors. Now these Illyrian Reavers are also charging in, but they might want to pull back and start chasing down the Jade Warriors in crossbows instead. Like these Grace of Kuei Yin being eliminated by the rest of those Reavers. On the far side though, the Empress Crowmen dropping in some bombs. I think they used up all their bombs there. Getting some good damage. And, oh no! Did the mage got executed? Oh no, no more healing for the High Elves. They did break the box, but unfortunately I don't see how they kill Seitan. That's the problem here. It's like everything else is just like anti-infantry tool. Not that the mage have any hopes to killing Seitan and Yuanbo. So yeah, that's probably gonna be that's probably gonna be an uphill battle for the High Elves. They just don't have anything to kill single entities right now. The Lion Chariots are being attrition down in a bunch of spears. Reavers getting shot up by Grace of Kuei Yin and Jade Warrior crossbows who have returned. The Reavers didn't try to chase down the routed units. That might be a big mistake here. I mean, I don't think it matters. Yuanbo transformed into dragon, and that is gonna spell the end of the Sword Masters. So can't just win out against a freaking dragon. Infantry, they can do fine. Kill Yuanbo and all that, but being shot by Grace of Kuei Yin, being forced to fight a dragon, that's not great. Oh, at least the War Lions are activated to shut down once and for all. Shut down those Grace of Kuei Yin for good. And yeah, they're just gonna bounce around, but I don't think that's gonna matter for the High Elves. Just Yuanbo and the Grace of and the Seitan alone are too much for the High Elves to deal with at this point. A massive Terracotta Sentinel with artillery, great firepower, and then a freaking dragon. Yeah, it's just too much. Too much. A lot of good damage from the Grace of Kuei Yin. Shooting up the Sword Masters and whatever they can find in the late game. And at the start of the game as well, just shooting up the enemy archers and whatnot. Getting some pretty good kills. Same goes for the crossbows overall. And Empress Crowman got a lot of good value dumping those grenades. And seems like the High Elves were just not able to breach that cafe box fast enough. In the end, and also didn't have any good ways to deal with those double single entities. Sword Masters of OF getting some really solid value and probably can earn back their value if they manage to hold out longer without throwing in a towel and stuff. But yeah, with the rest of the army gone, I doubt the High Elves have what it takes to bring this game back. Lion Chariots did really well. Even this one getting heavily damaged at the start, still managed to plow through a bunch of poor Cathayans and getting some good damage value overall. War Lions being activated a little too late there, so not a whole lot of damage done throughout the game. Alright, next up we have Beastmen versus Dark Elves. Give me a second there. Wait, hold on. Have we seen this before? Yeah, I think we've seen... No, we haven't seen this before. Wait, why is there... Were there two... Beastmen army or something? Hold on. Were there two Dark Elves army or something? No? Wait, hold the fuck up. Did I mixed up something or? Oh wait, no. We haven't seen a Dark Elf versus Beastman. Never mind. My bad. My bad. We haven't seen any of those. Okay, yeah, all right, cool. Let's go back into the army builds now. Let's ignore that. Dark Elves, a front line of Dread Spears, with flanked by once again, a lot of missile contingent. 3 Dark Riders and 2 Scourge Runners, and then a bunch of Dark Riders accompanied by Koan Knights. A lot of mobility and just a very minimalistic front line. Leading the army is Morathi once again, with Melkovs and Soul Stealer with Power of Darkness, trying to siphon some magic there. One of Caradon as well, Caridon I think it's called. On the other side, for the Beastmen, a front line of Ungors and Gors, and backed up by, once again, Minotaurs, this time with shields in case they have to deal with Dark Shards and Shades. Or at least that's what I think. A bunch of Senegors with great weapons and Razor Gors, I assume, for all those AP to deal with the Koan cavalry. In the skies, Harpies. And yeah, magic-wise, it is a lore of Shadows casters with Pit of Shades and Pit of Shades only. I think they might gonna be a bit disappointed to find the Dark Elves are not having a lot of good targets for that Pit of Shades. Kazarak One Eye, that is a brave choice, and that is not a regular choice at all. Ouch, that is a painful one of Caridon. I would say even Morgor the Shadowgrave is better than Kazarak, just because Morgor has healing, and Kazarak One Eye on foot as well, so he's gonna struggle to find the next target to fight. Too slow to catch his targets. But we shall see what happens here. Maybe the Beastmen have something hidden in their back pocket. We shall see. Anyways, Anglo Spears are moving up. And, ooh, they got charged by the Scourge Runners. Again, they are indeed a chariot. So, against light armor chaff infantry, they can still do some decent work. Senegors and Razor Gors were able to catch these Dark Riders by surprise. But that opened them up to a countercharge from the Koa Knights, and Morathi herself dropping in a Soul Stealer even just try to drain them down, and on top of that Melkovs to slow them down further. But seeing the Minotaurs are coming in, the Koa Knights are deciding to just back the hell out of there. Anyways, the Scourge Runner Chariots though overstayed their welcome and now stuck in the middle of a lot of Gors and Ungors, being slowly dragged down in the fight of attrition. The rest of the Dark Elf army is just kind of sitting idle. Same goes for the Beastman army. Both sides are concentrating on taking this one engagement here, while the rest of the battle is just not happening. Anyways, Dark Riders once again being charged by Razor Gors, Senegors, and this time even Minotaurs are in the fight, being quickly broken off, and now the Koa Knights counter-charging in. Maybe the Minotaurs can bring this one back just by being a decent prolonged melee combatant. Melkovs is trying to drain them down, but they don't have a whole lot of models, so they will hold on for now. Razor Gors and Minos are actually grinding down the Koa Knights, but the Ungors and Gors are quickly rushing over to help. Same goes for these unactivated Minos, Gors, and Senegors and Razor Gors. Especially the Minos, as the Butchers of Kalkin got a very lethal unit. Ooh, Pit of Shades onto the Koa Knights, just trying to nuke them down, and indeed they're taking heavy damage. But be careful though, there are still a lot of Koa Knights on the other side of the battlefield. Dumping all the resources into one single unit might not necessarily be the best idea. But still, the Koa Knights are dealt with, and the Dark Elves also lost Dark Rider. But is it worth it? We shall see. Because the Beastmen also lost a whole Senegor Great Weapon unit, which is not cheap, actually. 900 gold. Or is it 950? Almost as expensive as a Koa Knight. So, yeah, and on top of that, losing a Razor Gore, which is a medium price unit as well. But yeah, Morathi took some damage, but the Minotaurs is taking a shit ton of damage from the crossbows cross-firing into the fray. No pun intended. Harpies are being... Oh man, those Harpies would have been so nice over here. Like, if the Harpies were just pressuring the Dark Riders or the Scourge Runners, they would not have been able to fire at the Minos, and the Minos would have had a much more comfier time. But else, everyone makes the mistakes of leaving units in tactical reserve for way too long. Razor Gore's Rampage, though, unfortunately. Oh, rampaging into the Dark Riders. That's not bad. But yeah. Oh, the Harpies are being forgotten. Oh, no. But yeah, Senegal was trying to chase the enemy mobility, but then that overextended them and allowing the Dark Riders to pick them off from afar. Balance of power is slightly in favor of the Beastmen, though. Yeah. I guess the Cohen Cavalry are just taking way too much damage. Oh, actually, every Cohen Cavalry is here. And they're being butchered by the butchers of Kalkengor. Oh, another Pit of Shades. Oh no, the Cohen Knights are not gonna get out in time, isn't it? Yep, that's what happened, and they are gonna get nuked by the Pit of Shades. That was a shame. That would have been really fine. That would have been a really good unit in this kind of late game scenario here. And yeah, they got nuked down. The Cohen Knights are still trying to fight it out, but the Butchers of Kalkengor can probably outlast them with that regeneration. But the Dark Shard, well, the repeater crossbows are here and cross-firing onto the Butchers. And the Butchers is quickly getting nuked down. Harpies are coming in to help. Probably just trying to screen the Dark Shards. The Dark Riders, which are basically mounted Dark Shards, let's face it. And yeah, the Butchers are routed. But the capture point is in the hands of the Beastman army. So there's that. If they can last long enough, maybe they can win this one. Marathi duking it out against Harpies and taking some damage, but with the Dark Rider repeater crossbow fire support, those Harpies are being dispatched pretty nicely. Ooh, that might not have been a good Pit of Shades, nuking both the Angkor Spears and Dread Spears. That was quite painful to see. But yeah, I don't know why the Balance of Power is saying the Dark Elves are losing, but oh, maybe because they ran out of ammo. I think they still have the upper hand here, though. Having mobility left. Infantry is quite tattered and all that, but whatever, man. Like, just use the missiles, kill as many of the enemy infantry as possible, and then just charge with the range, the skirmish cav and all that, and also some scourge runners as well. Like, the great thing about skirmish cav is even after using all their ammo and getting some solid value, you can still also get them into fights. Use them as a melee cavalry. A weak one, yes, but a melee one regardless. Delivering recharges for morale penalties and stuff like that. Like attacked in flank, attacked in the rear. That's a lot of leadership shot. Great for routing off tattered units in the late game there, even if they're not great fighters themselves. And that is gonna be GG as the Beastman obtains. Wait. Beastman gets victory? What? Alright. Hold on a second. Was it capture point? I wasn't paying attention to the capture point. Maybe I missed something here. What the fuck? My attention span is lacking today. What? Sorry, I'm gonna fast forward this one. Yeah. I think that was a capture point victory for Beastman, maybe? Not entirely sure. Just gonna fast forward this one to see, because unfortunately the Harpies could have engaged over here a little earlier. But yeah, both sides just kind of like neglected the side of the battlefield. The Dread Spears and the Gores are just kind of staring at each other, not doing anything for a while. Angor Spear is actually winning. Oh wait, no, never mind. Kazarak One Eye is helping the fight, providing some buffs even. Maybe not, but yeah. Alright, so what happened in the end? Marvelly survived. Oh, Pit of Shades that killed both the Angors and the Dread Spears. I don't think that was a wise choice. And yeah, the Beastmen are just reforming around. Okay, Melkov's on the go herd. And the Beastmen just have a lot of infantry holding the line there. And while the Brave Shaman is just bullying all those Dread Spears. As the timer ticking forever close to the Beastman victory here. Pit of Shades on to the Dark Riders. Oh no, there's no infantry to capture the point anymore. Well, there is some, but very tattered. And Beastmen still have the numbers majority here. And I think that might be a capture point victory here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that... Even with a charge from the Dark Riders shocking a bunch of Gorza and Gors to route, that's still not going to be enough. As the Beastman wins in the end, they're almost at a chain route even. But Kazarak, nobody really fights him early on, and he was still holding on to the leadership in the end. And yeah, the Beastman managed to hold on. We have so many capture point victories today. What the hell? Dark Riders with repeater crossbows getting some solid value, shooting down those poor Minos, man. But yeah, that was still not enough there, as the Dark Elves took way too long to get to the capture point and try to contest it. While the Beastman has just been chilling with a bunch of Angors on there throughout the entirety of battle, holding on until they get that win. Even throwing away the Minos is not enough to give them the disadvantage here. Alright, next up we have the Undead versus the Barbarians. VM Flower with double... What? With double Banshee and an Isabella von Korstein here, who have the Blood Chalice, which is like the undead equivalent of Regrowth that can be used only on heroes though. She can't use it on herself. I mean, I think she can actually, only on characters. I think she can use it on herself, but she only have a skeletal steed. So no, that's not a hell steed. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So that's not worth it to dump it on herself. She's also not an amazing fighter anyways. The Blood Chalice of Bathory. Yeah, definitely not modeled after real historical figures, right? And I guess it's gonna be dumped onto the Banshee to heal them. That's the only... I think that's the only reason you would use it like that. But anyway, zombies are for the front line in a vertical formation and to help them last a bit longer. And then skeleton spears behind them. One crypt horror with a couple corpse carts. One of them Unholy Lodestone, the other Bale Fire. I guess to imbue the fire damage against stuff like skin wolves and like the Cold Voider as well. Yeah, skeleton spears, and then on the flank some Blood Knights. And one black coach. Now that is a meme unit. You never see these guys on the battlefield. You never see this thing on the battlefield. And is that the coffin shaking in there? Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely shaking. Never noticed that that little detail there. Yeah, on the other side, for the Norskins, the front line of Marauder Champions, really taking a liking into the Marauder Champions today from our Norska player. I think it's Captain Tillis. Front line of a center of Marauder Spears, backed up by a ton of Marauder Hunters with Javis, with more spears flanking them and one more Marauder Champions with great weapons. The Mauls of Savagery, physical resistant, armored skin wolves, with frenzy as well. Alright, nothing else. So, leading the army is Throg the Troll King, supported by a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. Once again, coming in with Searing Doom and Plague of Rust, with a Cold Voider in the skies. Alright, so let's see what happens here. Now the Banshee don't have fire damage themselves, but if they are sticking close to a Balefire Coast Guard, then they will have the fire damage to exploit that fire weakness on both Throg and the Cold Voider. So Throg really needs to be careful here. There is no magic damage on, well, no single entity targeting magic damage on the Norskin side. So they're gonna be they're gonna struggle to kill those Banshees. And Throg did not want to tassel with those Banshees. Let's face it. Oh, Black Coach, a clean charge through those Marauder Champions, doing some nice damage. Took some Javelin shots in the process, but overall, getting some pretty good work done. A lot of Javelins coming their way and doing some remarkable work here. But at the same time, zombies and skeletons are marching through. Cold Voider trying to chase down Isabella von Kostheim. Von Kostheim does have the health steed to keep her on the lead. Alright, here comes the Banshee, ignoring Throg and going straight to assassinate that Shaman Sorcerer of Metal, knowing he will be a pretty good threat with all those Searing Dooms. So, Murder Champion's great weapons are coming in to try and help out. Cold Voider does have magic damage, and that might be the best source of damage to kill off that Banshee there then. Throg was not happy to tassel with the Banshee, noticing that most of his damage got mitigated by the physical resistance. Over here, Malls of Savagery charging into Blood Knights. They might be losing it initially, but with the Plague of Rust upgraded version to help equalize his damage, and Javelins throwing in, because the Blood Knights are also engaging in combat, so the flag of Bloodkeep is basically disabled for the moment here. And the Blood Knights taking quite a bit of damage, some models being hacked down as well. But Isabella von Kostheim, after all, she's still a decent-ish melee character, and she's gonna assassinate that poor Shaman Sorcerer with nothing else to protect him. Definitely should have helped some units back. Maybe another unit of Skin Wolves would have been useful to try to protect that Shaman Sorcerer. Anyways, Cold Voider haven't used any breath attack, I don't think. Yeah, fighting in melee in the front line there, and being on fire. He does have a lot of fire weakness. So fighting near a Balefire Corpse Guard is not a wise choice for the guy here. Yeah. Oh no, the Malls of Savagery. They were terrified by the Black Coach. And with the spears, the skeleton spears nearby, the Blood Knights were able to turn this fight around and actually beat up the Malls of Savagery in the end. They overextended and they paid the ultimate price. While the Marauder Hunters at the back there are just kind of occupied by zombie summoned ones or just regular ones. And yeah, summoned ones died. So yeah, not really in the position to provide any fire support anywhere. And it is down pretty much to the Cold Voider to try and carry this one. Throg is trying to beat up the Balefire Coast Guard with a breath attack support from the Cold Voider. They definitely need to shut it down so that they don't suffer from extra fire damage anymore. But yeah. Oh no! An Overcast Searing Doom that is also miscast damage. Triggering miscast damage on the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. He might just go away and never come back anymore. Tragic end for the Shaman Sorcerer and to the spell support of the Norskins. Throg is still duking it out over here, but this Corpse Guard is alive and they're regenerating. And there's just too much stuff for Throg to contest right now. And Throg had no choice but to just quickly bail out of there and avoid the Corpse Guard and this blob of powerful troops from the undead. And at this point, the Norskins really only have the Marauder Champions, Cold Voider, and Throg himself to rely on. Oh well, there's still a half-health Marauder Champion here. The other one's dead, I think. Most of Savagery is dead, and the Shaman Sorcerer is shattered. All the Javelins are down. Yeah, things are looking quite rough for the Norskins indeed. Cold Voider Breath attack onto the Kurtor is not doing a whole lot of damage. And has Isabella used up all the... Oh, it doesn't have a limited use. Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna be a lot of healing to the heroes. Not that the undead really needs a lot of those right now. Most of them are just very healthy, most of the characters. And the Blood Knights are just roaming the battlefield, running down everything they can find. All the routed javelins, and now these javelins are gonna be harassed by skeleton spears, which is not great. for them at all. Throg comes in, misses the attack on a freaking Balefire Corpse Guard. That is unfortunate. And now he's just doing the hump. Misses another attack on the Corpse Guard. Oh man, what is happening to that Corpse Guard? It's also receiving an attack from behind too, so it's supposed to have maximum hit chance. What is happening? Throg is not doing what he's supposed to do right now. Javelins close in, and oh, now that breath attack did way more damage than whatever Throg was doing. But yeah, the Blood Knights are gonna be a bit too much here, just running down all the isolated elements, and the Banshees are coming in to start poking down Throg with that fire damage from the Balefire Corpse Guard. Oh, it's gonna go down soon, so Throg is not gonna take any more fire damage. Still, it's just too much for the double single entities to deal with right now. And yeah, that is gonna be GG as the two armor-piercing Banshees poke down the Cold Voider, forcing an army loss to hit, I think. Yeah, where were the... Hold on. Oh, the Marauder champions with great weapons got killed off as well. Probably. Yeah. The double Banshee tactic paid off, and of course the Blood Knights really doing all the heavy lifting. They're killing the most of savagery, running down the Marauder Hunters with javelins, running down all the routed units, and rear charging and killing those Marauder champions as well. Cold Voider and Throg did their best. Oh, Throg was not having a good time right now. Not even close to earning back half of his value. What the hell is happening to Throg today? Oh, man. What a bad time to be a Troll King, I suppose. The Balefire is a nice touch in this build, actually, against Norska, which has a lot of fire weaknesses across their roster. Alright, High Elves versus Dark Elves, the grudge match. Actually, let me just check if there's any duplicate replays. If there isn't, we'll just proceed with everything normally. Yeah, I think there's no... Yeah, wait, hold on. Beastman versus... Alright, cool. Next up, we have Dark Elves versus High Elves, a grudge match. Once again, a lot of armor-piercing fire, but no Scourge Rider chariots. Instead, they have shades. 3 shades, 3 Dark Rider with repeater crossbows, 4 Koan Knights, 5 Dread Spears, and 1 Supreme Sorceress. Let's slow down a bit here. And Supreme Sorceress coming in with a Fire Magic, Burning Head, and Burning Head only to clear out those staunch line of spears. Once they get burnt, they're suddenly not so staunch. On the other side, for the High Elves, Handmaiden of the Ever Queen, double of them, and of course they have the Ever Queen support, providing that Star of Avalon healing. For 1 second, I almost thought they didn't bring it, but yeah, Star of Avalon, Earthblood, and Banishment to heal up all those expensive Dragon Princes. There's only one actually, and I guess they healed Sword Masters nicely as well. Once again, a bunch of Lothan Sea God with shields and Lion Chariots and a lot of Yularen Reavers. Holy hell. Alright, let's see what happens here. The Handmaiden, double Handmaiden already engaging in skirmishing, and seeing that there's not a whole lot of cavalry in the front line, the Lion... Oh, they didn't see this Shades. That's the thing. They're hidden, they're stalking, so they didn't see the armor-piercing fire hiding behind the front line, and once they're in charging distance, it's a little too late to pull out, I guess. Taking some damage and quickly try to pull back right now, but not before taking more point-blank crossbow shots to the face. The Lothan Siga needs to be pushing. They need to get close and start peppering down the enemy with Archer Fire. But yeah, the Lion Chariots took a lot of damage with the Psycho Charging. They did a lot of damage in return, but is it worth it? We shall see. Nope. Yeah, they haven't... Oh, well, they did put some Dread Spears into a vulnerable position for a banishment. Getting some valor like that, but yeah. The Lion Chariots are completely trapped by Koan Cavalry and Spears, and they're not going to get out of there alive. A little bit of Earthblood trying to heal them back up, but with more Koan Cavalry coming in, I don't think they can escape that one. Yeah, Lothan Seaguard at least are in range and start raining down arrows, I guess. Oh, another Burning Head onto 2 perfectly lined up Lothan Seaguard. One gets nuked down to less than a quarter of the, oh god. That was such a beautiful burning head. Wow. A 2 for 1. My god. Both units of Loathsome Seaguard are nuked down, and also some of these 11 Reavers just unfortunately walking into the burning head as well. Archer fire raining down from the Loathsome Seaguard, but not a whole lot of damage. Yeah, I think the High Elves are in a bit of an uphill battle on this one. They're trying to do a lot of psycho charging, but yeah, those burning heads are definitely something. Oh, tactical reserve Koan Knights being left in the background here, so maybe this mistake might help the High Elves bring this one back. Burning head onto the front line once more, but maybe this time they can dodge it. Maybe, not sure. Because the burning head is going after another unit of Loathsome Seaguard, who is now being pressured by the Dread Spears. And once they're being tied in melee, they are not going to be trading cost efficiently into dedicated melee units. Shades are firing into the Sword Masters, and they're not facing the right direction, so their missile block chance is not going to work here. So the Elaren Reavers are being activated, trying to shut down the enemy firepower and try and save these Sword Masters, who are now down to less than a quarter of their HP. And I think their Martial Mastery is no longer activated. So yeah, Elaren Reavers jumping into the fight, but being stopped by Dark Riders. But at least another unit of Elaren Reavers are able to shut down a unit of Shades. But there are still 2 more on the field, and Dread Spears are constantly just pressuring those Loathsome Seaguard. While the cavalry fight, 1 unit of Dragon Princes is probably not enough to deal with all these anti-large armor-piercing cavalry. And yeah, the Elaren Reavers are being beaten back by all those Koan cavalry. Yeah, they even have a shit ton of healing from Ilaria with the Star of Avalon and Earthblood, but that's still not enough. They even almost heal cap themselves. But yeah, all that armor-piercing crossbows, the Koan Knights just managed to hunt them down. And I think that is probably going to be a Dark Elf victory here, despite how the balance of power is still fairly even. Like, all they have remaining are some Loathsome Seaguard, and yeah, they're just, once they get tied down in melee, they're not going to trade effectively, and at least, well, unless against enemy Koan cavalry. That is an exception, I guess. But yeah, we're just going to fast forward this one here as the as the Shades are closing in, and burning heads, there have been no effective dodging against the burning heads in this fight, and unfortunately, the Loathsome Seaguard really paid the ultimate price here, getting burnt to death. Banishment did some good damage, but finally the Koan Knights are being remembered finally and activated onto the battlefield. But I don't think that make much of a difference, even leaving 1 unit of Koan Knights out of the battle for most of the game. The Dark Elves still managed to pull ahead with all those deadly burning heads. How much value? Almost 2,000 gold worth of damage value just from the burning heads, man. That is some crazy damage. And yeah, Koan Cavalry, 4 of them were able to outtrade 4 Elaren Reavers and 1 Dragon Princess. Unfortunately, the Dark Elves, unless you're bringing a Fireborn, none of those cavalry trade well into Koan Cavalry due to the lack of armor piercing and anti-large. So yeah, the Koan Knights are just so cost efficient against the High Elves. And Dark Riders didn't do a whole lot of damage. Mostly it's the Shades doing all the shooting, peppering down the enemy Lion Chariots, the Sword Masters of Hoeth, and the Dragon Princes, and Elaren Reavers. The Loathsome Seaguard are mostly killed by burning heads, and yeah, the healing is not enough here. Just not enough. Next up, Beastmen versus Teens. Two not so sturdy factions, and it's just a fight between Zangors. This is kind of dumb, not gonna lie. It's just a fight between Zangors. What the fuck? All right, let's slow down a bit. Excuse me. So for the Zangors here, a front line of well, both sides have Zangors, so I can't just say Zangors. Beastmen, Zangors, we have a front line of Zangors with a couple Angor spears. We have a Jabberslave, something we don't usually see on the battlefield. So yeah, Jabberslave coming in to do some pretty nice impactful charges, and more importantly, the Mortis engine effect to drain down surrounding troops if their leadership is lower than half. But they do have to lower the leadership by half before it actually takes effect. A couple Tuskor chariots. Pretty nice armor piercing mobility, and then more armor piercing on the flank. Sons of Goros packed in with a Razorgore herd. Another great weapon, Xanagor with another Razorgore herd as well. Probably expecting some Chaos Knights or something like that. No skirmishing troops though. Leading the army is Kazarak on his chariot. Once again, Kazarak, interesting pick. And Brave Shaman of Shadows with Pit of Shades and Pit of Shades only. On the other side, for the Siege, well, they have their own Zangors, since, well, it's Siege. Backed up by some blue and pink horrors, the Sour Guts and Chromatic Abominations. So ready to just fire and yeah, fire into enemy light troops, and there's a lot of light troops for the Beastmen. So yeah, and skirmishing component, multiple Marauder Horsemen of Tinge, and one Exalted Flamer. The vortex effect from the Flamer, from the Exalted Flamer, does do some really nice work against infantry blobs. And in the sky, Kairos Fate Weaver with Shrieking Sky Rays accompanying him. More Marauder Horsemen with javelins on this side with the Tinge skirmishing force, quickly whittling down. That was a horrible. What were you aim? That was a horrible volley, aiming at like one single Marauder on the side, and one single Senegal on the side, and killing like a model or something. But yeah, once again we're seeing that Gaze of Fate and Firestorm combo, locking down the enemy troop with that Gaze of Fate and then deleting them with that Firestorm, and oh my god, look at the damage. Already 600 gold with that, and basically earning back the cost of the abilities, and then some more. As now the Razorgore are being committed, and then Shrieking Skyrays countercharging their countercharge, and then Kairos is just chilling in the middle, not taking much damage with the Siege barrier blocking most of it. And then the Shrieking Skyrays deleting those Razorgores, while the Marauder Horsemen are moving up and probably trying to... Oh, are they trying to deal with the Sons of Goros? Sons of Goros are charging in though, so they might want to stay the hell away. But yeah, both sides are ignoring the central engagement, putting the focus onto this mobility as more and more resources are being committed. Wait, no, it's just these 3 units, and seems like Tinge got a very clean victory there, deleting the Sons of Goros, killing the Razorgores, and also routing an Angor Spear. And they also have the mobility to keep all these units chased away, giving them a little bit of advantage on that balance of power. Alright, let's fast forward a bit here. As Sons of Goros and Razorgores are just being chased off, and also these Angols being chased off with nothing to resecure them. And these Razorgores and Senegals with great weapons are just being left in the forest for now, hiding away, maybe waiting for a good opportunity to jump in. But yeah, as you can... Did he just hit... Oh no! The Exalted Flamer just hit the wall and the slope in front of him, and just friendly fired his own troops. But yeah, oh man, all those fire damage, all those warp... Okay, hold on. The Murder Horsemen with Javis, they have the Warp Flame effect, which adds weakness to fire and lowers enemy armor. Jabberslave, because of those weakness to fire and also lowered armor, they suffer even more damage from all those shots from the Chromatic Abominations from the Sour Guts and the Murder Horsemen with Javis as well. And immediately it just got nuked down by all those missile attacks, all that focused fire from the Tinge army, and that's basically it. It doesn't heal, it can't come back, and it just got nuked down. Pit of Shades coming in, but too little too late. The Jabberslave is gone, and then there goes the Mortis engine, and the Tinge army already has a significant lead on balance of power already in 3 minutes into battle. Winning the flank fight over there, nuking that Jabberslave, and now, yeah, the Zangors are duking out evenly, and everything else is in favor of Tinge. even have a terror-causing monster, Kairos Fate Weaver, to break off all those Gores and Gores. Finally, it's wait, I think it's still doing friendly fire. Look at all those. I can't. I don't. What? Yeah. And some friendly fire, but yeah. The vortexes here, and also Firestorm, deleting a ton of Dangors here. These Dangors just got deleted by Firestorm. Tusker Chariot's going into the fight and running down some Chromatic Abominations, but it's too late now. I don't think they can bring this one back, especially with so many... oh. The Razor Gore hurts, and Synagogue is finally being activated, but the Exalted Flamer plus Gaze of Fate, just locking them down and nuking them from afar. With more firepower coming into this way as well. Yeah. Tusker Chariots try to do some Psycho Charging, but Marauder Horsemen engaging in melee just to lock them in melee and grind them down in prolonged combat. And I think, yeah, that is going to be a very handy victory for the Siege army here. Very nicely played with all the mobility on the right flank, especially the Gaze of Fate and Firestorm combo. That is such a deadly, destructive combo, deleting high-value units in a 1-2 punch. And then the javelins, the horrors, absolutely nuking down that poor Jabberslave. Man, that Jabberslave just got deleted. So yeah. Not much to talk about in terms of tactics for this one. We can move on to the next one. Grand Cathay versus Skaven. Let's see what happens here. I'm not sure what is the optimal build for both sides, but we are seeing a lot of Clan Ashen shenanigans with 3 Ashen Triads and a double assassin build. Deathmaster Snitch is well, Vanguard deployed. Same goes for the Gutter Runners, Ashen Triads, all just Vanguard deployed and hidden away. But the problem is, Satan does reveal everything on the battlefield, even for the even for the stalking units. Yeah, that is so all that stalking is not really surprising, I guess, but still forcing the Grand Cathay army to turn around and deal with a 2 frontal assault. So that is value on its own, I suppose. But yeah, Gutter Runners on and Ashen Triads Vanguard deployed by the already shooting the assassin by the Skaven player here. Deathmaster Snitch leading the army with an assassin accompanying him. On the other side, a front line of Skaven slaves backed up by Red Ogres for a melee rush plus the Dwarfing Menace on the Grand Cathay side. A classic missile box again. Once again, Satan the Watcher revealing the Skavens with the Watcher, Watched by the Watcher ability. And man, what a name! Watched by the Watcher. Of course, it's Watched by the Watcher. It's like blood leaking blood crushers or something like that. Anyways, Jade Warriors in the front line there with a backline of Peasant Long Spears and Jade Warrior crossbows in the center, and yeah, that's about it. And some Jade Lancers with the main killing power Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon, and Seitan the Watcher. Already trying to target the double assassins, revealing them to the world and making them visible. Still having 15 more seconds to go before they can start stalking again. But yeah, Ashen Triad's moving up, and they are very vulnerable to crossbows and stuff like that. But maybe they can quickly rush into combat. Maybe. They need to fight armored targets to make it worth it though. But they are already taking quite a bit of damage from the crossbows. Yeah, we shall see what happens here. Concealment bomb. Not that it's gonna help them anymore. They need to quickly start engaging in combat. The Skaven Slave and Red Ogre rush is commencing, and these are the Shadow Clone Extras Triads. So they're not actually doing any damage, just occupying the Jade Warrior crossbows in combat. While the Ashen Triads over here, a lot of them got stuck on Peasant Long Spears, not actually fighting the Jade Warrior crossbows, which is what they want to fight, or the Jade Lances. Both works. But yeah, Plague Monks being summoned on the battlefield and just dragging down the Jade Warrior crossbows. And Deathmaster plus the Assassin are trying to beeline for Zhao Ming, the Iron Dragon here, while the Red Ogres are trying to pin him down so that the double Assassins can get to the Cafe Dragon. And they're doing some damage. They're doing some damage for sure. I don't think Zhao Ming is going to go back to human form, so he's just going to stay there and try to tank it. Plus, don't forget about the Burning Von Braces to get him that burst heal. But maybe Deathmaster Snitch can get the damage done. We shall see. While the Ashen Triads are all stuck on Peasant Long Spears for now, not quite able to get to what they want to fight for now. While the Red Ogres and Skaven Slaves are still stuck. Oh wow, Zhao Ming is getting burst down. Of course, the Weeping Blade and Armor Sundering from the Dwarfing Manus. That combined with Weeping Blade, nuking down Zhao Ming's armor down to 20, down to a meager 20. That is huge, allowing the Assassin, who does not have a lot of armor-piercing weapon strength, to just burst him down alongside Deathmaster Snitch and the Red Ogres, who also get a minor buff from that armor being nuked down earlier. Let's see that. Weapon strength, yeah, that's still 160 base weapon damage. And actually managed to rout off Zhao Ming. He might come back though, so that's a problem. And there's still a Seitan the Watcher there on the battlefield. But yeah, with the sheer numbers of Clan Red summons, Plague Monks and Clan Red summons just swarming those Grand Cafe crossbows. And Ashen Triads actually grinding through those peasants successfully. Things are tipping in the Skaven's favor. But yeah, I don't think Zhao Ming has activated he hasn't activated his burst heal yet. So maybe just have to. Whoa! What are you doing? Stop damaging Zhao Ming. Now you're bringing him back to half health or something. Oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah, that one volley of Gutter Runners was all it takes to get that burst heal. That was unfortunate. But yeah, a lot of the missiles basically have been compromised on the by the Skavens, but they're running out of steam. A lot of their units are running low on health, and that means low on leadership, and Skavens don't have a lot of leadership to begin with. Trying to get more summons on the field, but these are Jade Warriors, and summon Clan Rats and Plague Monks aren't going to kill them all. And yeah, Zhao Ming is still very much healthy due to the Burning Von Braces. Dwarfing Manus is not in the position to offer that Armor Sundering again. Maybe Deathmaster Snitch can get over there. We also, oh no, he's not gonna get there in time. We saw a death marked by Deathmaster earlier, Deathmaster Sigil, sorry, and it worn off already. So there's no more Deathmaster Sigil anytime soon. Assassin took a big hit, and Deathmaster is not in the range of delivering an attack as he's blocked by the freaking Jade Lances. Oh man, that is unfortunate for the Deathmaster there. As problems with being a Foot Lord, you always get blocked. And Seitan the Watcher is still free to fire at whatever he gets his hands on, and he is gonna snipe out the Assassin. Yikes. Probably a better... Yeah, I mean, it's... I'm saying that with the luxury of having a bird's eye view on everything's going on here. But probably the better choice to kill first is definitely Seitan the Watcher. He is unbreakable... what? No, well... He doesn't rout, at least. He doesn't rout. So you need to basically kill him off. And he does a lot of nasty damage there. You can see just take a huge chunk off Snitch. And he doesn't heal. So if you knock him out, it takes a huge chunk of... you need to kill him. And you can knock him out to take a huge chunk of balance of power off the Grand Cafe's table. While Zhao Ming tank a bunch of damage and just healed back up with Burning Von Braces. Yeah, while Seitan the Watcher is just ignored throughout the game and just free firing at whatever he can see, getting some decent damage and routing Assassin and whatnot. One last ditch effort from Snitch trying to kill off Zhao Ming, but Zhao Ming of course can fly, so he just back out and get back into the sky, and Seitan just pepper down, sniping 360 no scoping Snitch, who is too close to Cafe units to be unspottable. And yeah, I think that's GG. Yeah, definitely needs to prioritize Seitan in the future, I think. Just because he is such a deadly single entity sniper. And he's also a very tanky character too. Yeah, very nice with the initial assassination attempt, but unfortunately just not quite managed to do it. Dwarfing managed, and Snitch managed to get a good chunk of health off of Zhao Ming. Assassin didn't do a whole lot there. I guess just mostly there to pop trophy head. Extra Triads did meh. Most of the value come from just fighting peasants. But they did disrupt some of the Grand Cafe shooting with their Shadow Clone. But unfortunately, a lot of these Asian tribes got stuck on peasants and was not exactly a good fight for them. They need to they need to squeeze through the gaps in the cafe formation and get on the crossbows, and fight the Jade Lances, I guess. And most importantly, fight Seitang and Zhao Ming. Those were the good value targets for them. So I guess what they need probably is a couple Death Runners to cut through the peasants, or something to kill the peasants so they can quickly get in position and start fighting Seitang and Zhao Ming with their Guandaos. So yeah, Dwarfing Menace did well. The Gutter Runners didn't do a whole lot. They did some value, but they cost 800, so it's not worth it. Well, these are Skaven slaves, so they're just there to die, I suppose. But yeah, most of the damage are done from the Grand Cafe side are done by Zhao Ming and the Seitang the Watcher. And everything else is just to grind down the Skavens and delay them long enough for the two characters to do the work. And work they did. Work they did. Let's not go for another Grand Cafe. Let's look at some, Beastmen action. Alright, once again, Beastmen coming in with Kazrak One Eye. Gores and Ungores in the front line, 3 Ungor Raiders. Once again, a very armor-piercing focused core of mobility, a bunch of Sandagor's great weapons, one of them the Sons of Goros, with Razor Gores, and some Tuskor Chariots as well. We also have some Chaos Warhounds this time, and Harpies in the skies. Let's hope they don't forget about it. And spell support, we have... Wait, where? Oh, right, there we go, the Shadows Shaman. Shadow Spray Shaman with Pit of Shades only again. This is going to be a bit of a problem because they are fighting a full mobility build. A shit ton of Winged Lances and Griffin Legion and a bunch of Horse Archers with Light War Sleds to shoot down and kite those poor Beastmen to death. Leading the army is Ice Witch of Tempest with Hawks of Miska for that Discourage Leadership debuff and Swift Wing for extra charge bonus and movement speed. Charge speed as well. Very nice if they are doing an alpha strike of and boosting their charge impact. So yeah, we might just have to fast forward this one because it's gonna be a bit of kiting, I'm afraid. And they're just kiting and poking down those Sandagors, delivering a charge, nuking down those poor Ungors with a very nice charge, but they themselves getting a lot of counterfire from those Ungor Raiders. So they are not getting those damage for free. Let's fast forward here, and they continue to kite, continue to do psycho charging, and the Beastmen do have the capture point and are slowly ticking with that capture point value. Also, Miska with an Ice Witch follow up with a charge, quickly terror routing the Ungor Raiders with the encourage effect, discourage effect, plus a Pit of Shades, attempt, but that was only light war sled, so there's no damage onto. There's not a lot of damage here, I'm afraid. It's more friendly fire if anything. But yeah, the Ungor Raiders are actually counter-firing alright against the Light War Sleds, who doesn't have the most armor, and taking quite a bit of damage. Once again, Pit of Shades, but Pit of Shades against low model count units like the War Sled is very ineffective. You're not doing damage to them much, because it's the damage with these AoE spells multiply by how many unit models are being hit. Oh, here's Swift Wing, and adding more movement speed for the Winged Lances and the Ice Witch to pull out and recharge back again. And the Griffin Legion charges in and hitting all those Harpies, the Sons of Goros, who doesn't have the right attacking order, still trying to attack the retreated Winged Lances, and that means they're just gonna get killed for free by the Griffin Legion, who are actually fighting against them. Now this would be a good block for a Pit of Shades, but that is not happening here. And instead of Hulks of Miska terror routing all those Razor Gourds, the Harpies, and Gores with the terror from the Ice Witch and Discourage from the spell. On the far side there, Griffin Legion. Wait, were they just got stuck in a fight against a bunch of Razor Gourds and Senegals got killed to the last... Oh, they probably got charged, but then the follow-up counter charge from the Griffin Legion managed to kill off those Razor Gourds and Senegals, while the Light Worslets were able to retreat back to safety. Beastmen still holds that capture point, and they're now almost halfway to victory. But can they hold on to it for another 5 minutes? We shall see. Let's fast forward a bit here as the Beastmen are now under counterfire again. And oh, it looks like Pasha did slip up with his micro a bit there, leaving a bunch of Horse Archers in the Pit of Shades for a little too long and just got nuked down to roughly half health on all 3 units. And if those Angkor Raiders are able to hold on, maybe the Beastmen will be able to counterfire those Horse Archers to death. But right now, Light Worslets are still a thing, and there's still a bunch of Kislevite cavalry roaming the battlefield. Are there any more heavy cavalry on the field? No. Just 1 unit of Griffin Legion and half a unit, well, half a unit of Winged Lances and half a unit of Griffin Legion. Oh wait, there's another half of unit of Griffin Legion. So yeah, they're able to jump in and try to run down those Tuskor chariots. We're not great at fighting other cavalry, by the way. Ooh. This is another Hulks of Miska. Yeah, Discourage effect, nuking the leadership on these low leadership Angors, and quickly forcing them to rout. And there is no more infantry presence on the Beastman side, other than some Angkor Raiders who are now being ran down by the Light Worslets. While Kazarak One Eye is trying desperately to pick a melee fight and get some value. Not that he's getting a whole lot though. Ooh. Chaos Warhound's getting charged by the Griffin Legion and got nuked down to death. Tuskor Chariots are trying to get rid of the Griffin Legion here by delivering a rear charge and helping out Kazarak. And but yeah, Harpies are roaming the battlefield trying to harass and eliminate the tattered Winged Lances. But there's still half a unit of Griffin Legion here, and yeah, these ones are getting quite damaged from fighting a bunch of chariots, I suppose. But yeah, Tuskor Chariots over here surrounded by Worslets and Griffin Legion. They are gonna go down. And that leaves just the characters on the Beastman side, and I don't think that's gonna be enough to bring this one back here, unfortunately. Oh wait, Kazarak is not even on a chariot. He's just walking around. Oh boy. He's gonna struggle to catch his targets. And oh, a big Pit of Shades onto the blob as the Kislevites sends in their cavalry to capture the point, and they wrestle the point off the hands of the Beastmen. And I think that is going to be GG here, as Beastmen does not have enough bodies to recapture the point, and they definitely cannot kill off the rest of Kislev with the 2 characters and a lot of tattered forces. Yeah. Yeah, overall, I wouldn't say the Senegors and Razor Gores are a good pick. I mean, if you have enough of them, maybe they can try and contest in the mobility fight against the Kislev cavalry. But yeah, the Gore Herds are kind of shit. They are overpriced. Well, they're not overpriced in particular, but like they're more expensive than the Angkor, but doesn't actually do that much better of a job in holding the line. They're quite fragile and all that, and yeah. Senegals did meh. One of them did alright. These guys caught one of the Griffin Legion, I think. But yeah, the Sons of Goros didn't get a whole lot of damage. And Hulks of Miska, let me think. They managed to charge one of the Kislevic cavalry, if I remember correctly, but then Griffin Legion countercharge. But yeah, anyways, the Pit of Shades did some pretty good damage, just nuking some Horse Archers, but Pasha had a much better control over the mobility there, running through those Angkor Spears with the Light Worslets, and then having the Horse Archers peppering down the enemy cavalry and all that. And yeah. The Angkor Raiders had a pretty good time just trying to counterfire at the Light Worslets, getting some good damage done, but didn't kill any models. That is part of the problem. And Tuskor chariots have no good target to fight. It's all it's all cavalry. There's nothing for them to charge down. There's no charge impact. They can't plow for enemy units. There's no infantry for the anti-infantry bonus. A little bit of armor piercing, but that's about it. And yeah, Griffin Legion carrying the day, running down enemy light armored targets, and yeah, getting a good charge on the Sandagors with great weapons. And the Host of Miska is a really nice spell against low leadership armies like the Beastmen, forcing their units into a rout a lot earlier. Alright, next up, let's do Grand Cathay with Norska. Last 3 replays, and then we'll be calling it a day.
These villains.
Alright, now for the army build on both sides. Once again, the Grand Cathay army is going with their signature box. A front line of Jade Warriors, with Peasant Long Spears forming the rest of the box. A core of Jade Warrior crossbows, a Jungle War Drum, and a Grand Cannon, ready to snipe some big monsters. And oh boy, that Wolfric on a Mammoth is gonna feel the pain. So I can't wait. Honestly, I can't wait to see the Dreadmaw in multiplayer. Because Grand Cathay box is gonna feel the terror from the underground. They can't just sit there and shoot with impunity anymore. There will be Dreadmaws threatening them. But yeah, anyways, Grand Cannon, Jade Lances for mobility and mass, and yeah, that's it for the army builds. Jungle War Drum providing that immune to psychology is very key to keep those Jade Warriors and Peasants in the fight, making sure they don't rout from terror. And Yuan Bo has Gnat of Amentok, a deadly combo with the Grand Cathay missiles, especially with Grace of Kuei Yin there, to follow with armor piercing small arms fire, and Grand Cannon to nuke everything down on the enemy monster army. Yeah, also Gnat of Amentok, Jade Shield. On the other side, for the Norscan army, a very wide line of Marauders and no champions this time. Trying to go with as wide and as cheap as possible for the front line, and with a lot of Norscan Ice Wolves, Marauder Chariots. Ooh, Grand Cannons are already lighting up poor Wolfric there. He has a lot of HP, but yeah, there's nothing to help him shut down those missiles right now. Ice Wolves and Warhounds and Marauder Chariots are moving around, trying to get into flanking position, but yeah, Wolfric and the War Shrine Mammoth will just have to try their best to dodge enemy artillery, and they dodge a volley. That's pretty neat. While the rest of the Marauders are beelining straight for the enemy formation, trying to rush into combat position as soon as possible and try to threaten those missiles. There are some Norscan Ice Wolves being held back for now. Oh, Wolfric is trying to just rush for the front line. Oh, missed the Burning Head there. Burning down some Jade Warrior crossbows, singeing the Grace of Kuei Yin, hitting a second unit of the Jade Warrior crossbows. Is there a bolt coming in at some point soon? And Wolfric still taking damage. There's nothing in position to shut down the Grand Cannon just yet. Yeah, that is a problem. Oh, there is a War Mammoth with War Shrine pushing in. But Wolfric is gonna get hit with a Mark of Kuei Yin, nuking the armor down to only 50, and his missile resistance, if there's even any on him, is totally gone. Grand Cannon shooting at him, and he can't even move because of Gnat of Amentok. And the War Mammoth is still stuck, still unable to push through. This is where the Dreadmaw would come in really nice. Like, drop one Dreadmaw on the Grace of Kuei Yin, drop one on the Grand Cannon, and now suddenly the Grand Cathay can't provide as much. Like, their whole missile output is half. Missile damage output is half. Right now, Wolfric just got nuked down in a matter of seconds. Half of his HP gone throughout that. Yeah, he just went from half HP to dead with that one Gnat of Amentok cast. Finally, the War Mammoth is in the fray, but there's nothing else on the field to kill Yuan Bo if he ever transforms into a dragon anymore. So I think we can fast forward on this one there. Unfortunately, Norska is still waiting for their new toys in the DLC. Right now, they still struggle against a missile box like that of Cathay. Yeah. It's just a hard day for him to be a Norskin against the Grand Cathay, honestly. Not much to say, except the Grand Cannon and Grace of Kuai just sniped. Point blank range executed poor Wolfric there. And yeah. Not much to say really. I guess I don't know, man. Maybe it's a double Cold Voider time where it can fly fast enough. Well, double Frost Dragon where they can fly fast enough to dodge some of the cannons, but then again they're weak to fire. So one shot on the Frost Dragon and you'll really feel the pain on that thing. So I don't know. But yeah, the Dremel's coming, so it's all good, guys. Just wait a couple weeks, and the Norskin should be fine, I think. But yeah, another battle, this time Tinge versus Greenskins. Tinge going with 4 Forsaken, 4 Senegors, and 1 Marauder Horseman, 1 Shrieking Skyrays, and... Wait, is that Sathral Everwatcher? Yeah, it is Sathral Everwatcher. With Searing Doom and Final Transmutation, a direct damage spell that the Greenskins are rather weak against, as they do not have much healing. Outside of, like, 2 characters. Wait, no, 1 character. Yeah, 1 character. Yeah, on the other side, for the Greenskins, the front line of Gobbles and Gobbles only, some of them with spears, backed up by second line of Orc Boys and a bunch of Orc Boar Boys for their armor piercing. So maybe they can do a bit better against the Forsaken. Orc Boar Chariots even, and 4 units of Skirmish Cav, Gobble Wolf Rider Archers, and then 2 more units of Gobble Spider Rider Archers, and 1 Menji Marauders for their armor-piercing shots. Great to counter skirmish against the enemy Marauder Javis, Marauder Horsemen, I suppose. And 1 the big gun here to drop some rocks on the enemy formations. We shall see what happens here. Leading army Scar Snick with a little Wa Lord, Night Gobble Shaman support. Vindictive Glare to shoot at the enemy demons, I guess, and Itchy Nuisance to lower enemy attack. A rock sniping. Whoa! Oh no! It didn't even snipe out the Senegors. It just got blocked by the barrier. At least it knocked out most of the barrier, so that's nice. It just needs a second rock, so maybe a better time is just to nuke down the Forsaken, I guess. Now that's some damage, and then more will be coming in. Although the Gobble Wolf Riders might want to pull the hell out of there. Oh, Vindictive Glare, nice stuff. Knocking out those enemy Tinge barrier. While the archers also doing some whittling fire. Unfortunately, that rock missed, but the chariot follow-up was nice. Flying straight through those Forsaken, doing some nice damage. They just need to pull back though, because otherwise they'll get trapped by those Zangors. And even some Marauder Horsemen are coming in, trying to trap them in melee. But here comes the Orc Boar Boys, trying to challenge them in melee. Nope, never mind. Everything's pulling back behind infantry support. Over here, Orc War Boys charge in, but here comes the counter charge of the Senegals of Tinge, and they'll deliver some really nice armor-piercing damage. Ooh, Sathral the Everwatcher is getting trapped by a fermented fungi from Scar Snake himself. There's no Tormentor Sword on him though, so that is a problem. There's no prolonged snare onto Sathral. But at least the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers, the Spider Rider Archers are all trying to focus down Sathral. The problem is that Sathral does have quite a bit of physical resistance to... Oh, there's no more missile resistance on him. He used to have that in Warhammer 2. I just haven't seen this guy enough to notice that, I think. But yeah, he's not taking a whole lot of damage, unfortunately. While the Shrieking Skyrays have dived down and took out a huge chunk of these Mogros Magic Marauders, now the Vegan is coming in and trying to slap down Sathral. But oh no, Bolt of Change and Final Transmutation upgraded, nuking down Skarsnik's health down to half, but not without a price, as Sathral himself taking significant damage. Orc Boys are moving on into combat as well, as the Goblin front line has been mostly routed. Even the Skirmish Cav has been pushed back and routed as well. So that is not great for the Greenskins, as they're now down to the single entities trying to hold up the battle. Even the Night Goblin Shaman has been routed, and this Wa is not exactly they're not maximizing their value from the Wa for sure, as most of their damage, most of their units are damaged and are on the run, not in the fight as well. Even the Biggin is out of combat, as the Forsaken has, well, forsake that fight against the Biggin. Yeah. Orc boys are moving in, and is that a Vindictive Glare onto Savral, only knocking out a small chunk of his HP as his barrier regenerated by quite a bit when the Vindictive Glare hit. There are still some cavalry at the back there, but they're kind of being forgotten, so the... Oh, never mind, they're moving into a countercharge against the Zandagors. But yeah, there's just too many Zandagors for the Orc War boys to deal with, and they just don't have the melee stats to fight against the Zandagors. Leaving only the big end there to hold the line, who is not routable. Ooh. Fermented Fungi onto Savro, but he is beating the hell out of poor Skarsnik. As he did get the charge, and he, unlike, oh, nice Vindictive Glare though. Snipe 360 no scoping Savro, but yeah, unlike Kairos Fate Weaver, Savro does have decent-ish melee stats. So yeah, he was slapping Skarsnik there. And yeah, the greenskins are being chased down by all those Zandagors and Mordor Horsemen. And the skirmish cav is just not doing their job. One final transmutation there. Final transmutation. Sorry. Yeah. Slanesh compelled me to make the puns. I know it's excessive and all, but yeah. I think that's it for Skarsnik, leaving only the big one in the fight, who is trying, and both sides forgot to capture the damn point. So yeah, the big one is trying to stand around the point there and throw rocks and snipe out Sathrel. Not that it matters anymore. Javelin's nuking him down, especially with the armor debuff, and armor piercing of the Zandagors get a good charge on him, nuked him down. Final transmutation dealt the finishing blow. And yeah, the Zandagors did a lot of good damage, as the greenskins have committed their mobility to the fight first, basically opening them up to a countercharge from all those Zandagors taking heavy damage from their enemies. And yeah, the Mordor Horsemen did some damage, nothing too amazing there, but mostly the work was done by those Zandagors and final transmutations and some melee fights by Sathrel. Yeah, unlike Kairos Fate Weaver, Sathrel does have decent melee stats, and he actually beat the crap out of Skarsnik when he got the charge. And the infantry of greenskins didn't do a whole lot, unfortunately. And the skirmishing cavalry, they got caught by some of the Shrieking Sky Rays, and then the Zandagors just keep pushing them, driving through those Gobble and Orc boy front line. And they were also a little bit too far ahead, exposing them to an attack from those Zandagors there, unfortunately. Also, I probably wouldn't bring Skarsnik. If I'm bringing a Gobble Lord, I would bring the regular Night Gobble War Boss, just because Tormentor Sword and Fermented Fungi is a really nice combo. Yeah. It just locks down your opponent for a prolonged period of time. It's just really nice, man. Yeah. And one more battle, last battle, Undead versus Lizardman, and thankfully this is not an Undead versus Lizardman single entity plus Temple Guard blob. That would have been hell to cast, but I guess it's no longer viable now that the Undead has possible access to Purple Son of Zerus. But yeah, let's see here. Let's slow down a bit. We are looking at a Undead roster of, once again, the Strigoi Vampire Lord. The front line of zombies, second line of skeleton spears, backed up by one Necromancer already, trying to squeeze out some more Winds of Magic with the Forbidden Rod. On the flank, we have some Blood Knights with Karn Raves as well. Interesting, you don't usually see a lot of Karn Raves on the battlefield, especially against Lizardman, who does have access to some magic damage. So we shall see what happens here. In the skies, we have a couple Vargeist led by Strigoi Vampire Lord, who does have Gold King of Ushoran, and this time even having the Opal Amulet to make him even tankier, last even longer in battle. Command of the Unliving for the Ghoul Summon or Crypt Horror Summon. Invocation of the Hack and Doom and Darkness, I guess to scare off those skinks early. For the Lizardmen, a front line of skinks, some of them with javelins, most of them without, backed up by a bunch of skink skirmishers with a backbone of the Storage Chamber Guardians Regiment of Renowned Temple Guard, who does have magical attacks, bypassing that physical resistance on the Karn Raves. Cohen Spear Riders with the Umbral Tide, ready to unleash some firepower on the Strigoi Vampire Lord. who does have regeneration trait and is weak to fire on a Terrorgeist. What else? We have, yeah. Blow dots, blow. Oh, chameleon skinks. Slightly upgraded version of the skink skirmishers has stock and does a little bit more damage with their blow darts. But that's about it. Slimy Priest of High Magic with Tempest to lock down enemy units. Oh, great for locking down that Vargeist and Strigoi Vampire Lord, and then light them up with the Umbro Tide. Other than that, Apotheosis, Bound Banishment, Blood Statute of Spite, and the Shield of the Old Ones. That's it for the army builds, and now let's just wait for the battle to commence, wait for the action to begin. As we're just waiting for the armies to collide, the undead very cautiously moving up, while, well, actually the Blood Knights don't have to be. There's not a whole lot of cavalry to threaten them right now. Yes, the Koan Spear Riders can countercharge, but this is where the Conrays come in to get a countercharge, and a zombie, a Crypt Ghoul summon. Dropping Crypt Horror summon even, just getting the mass in the fight. Very nice use of this monstrous summon, just locking them down with the mass, blocking them from the charge, and also just dragging them into a melee fight against the Karn Raves. You can see the Crypt Horrors is taking a bunch of damage, but that is fine because they're summons. They're summons, they can take all the damage they want, while the Karn Raves and a returning Blood Knight countercharges them and nukes down those poor Koan Spear Riders. Strigoi Vampire Lord got locked down by the Tempest for a bit there, but unfortunately those Umbro Tide were not in position to fire, so the precious seconds have been wasted as the Umbro Tide tried to move in for a volley, but mostly missing as the Strigoi Vampire Lord was able to move out of the way. Blow Darts though did do some damage accumulating on the Strigoi Vampire Lord, but right now the bigger problem is that there's nothing to protect the Umbro Tide from the Vargeist. There are some Koan Spear Riders finally moving in to help out, but that's a lot of damage from a charging Vargeist. They do have a very high damage output on the charge and immediately nuking down those pro Umbro Tide. That might need an Apotheosis. Yeah, Apotheosis is coming in for those Umbro Tide, trying to keep them in a fight, while over here Blow Dart Chameleon Skinks are being jumped by Vargeist, and the Crypt Horrors managed to beat down the summoned Crypt Horrors, managed to beat back the Koan Spear Riders and a second unit of Koan Spear Riders as well, with the Strigoi Vampire Lord disrupting the Skinks on the side. Plus Statue of Spite draining down the Blood Knights, but they can heal during melee and mitigate some of that incoming damage, and the second unit of Blood Knight has arrived on the battlefield and will soon be running down those poor Koan Spear Riders. Oh, those Umbro Tide is really needed here to shoot down the Strigoi Vampire Lord. They don't have a lot of armor piercing, but that's fine because the Strigoi Vampire Lord doesn't have the most insane armor anyways. But yeah, they're firing in, but oh no. The Koan Spear Riders are blocking their own shots. Friendly fire time, I guess. While the Koan Knights, Karn Raves, and the Strigoi Vampire Lord, all three combined, are just killing this healthy unit. This remaining healthy unit of Koan Spear Riders. Yeah, that is a problem. Blow Darts are now whittling down the Vargeist. One thing great about fighting Vargeist is that they don't have a lot of armor and they're extremely squishy, so the Blow Darts are enough to whittle them down. The Strigoi Vampire Lord is getting drained by the Tempest, I think, but he's on the ground, so he is fine. He's healing, just chilling in the middle of his own trip support, and the Koan Spear Riders are done for. Blow Darts are raining on the Blood Knights, a little bit of Invocation of the Heck, but that's going to be cut down by half by the fire damage of the Umbro Tide. But there's still a very healthy unit of Blood Knights behind them. While the Star Chamber Guardians though fighting back all those undead infantry, just keeping that Slime Priest of High Magic safe from enemy attacks. But yeah, the Strigoi Vampire Lord is trying to go after the Spellcaster. While the rest of the army here, the Skinks are fighting in the front line, beating down zombies and skellies, but that has never been the focus anyways, as the Vargeist and Blood Knights continue to hunt down the missile contingent of those lizard boys. Yeah, things are not looking great for the lizard men here, as the undead are getting an advantage on balance of power, and slowly but surely catching those Umbro Tide and the rest of the Blow Dots in melee combat with their flyers and mobility. One more breath attack from the Strigoi Vampire Lord, but alas, that I don't think that really matters in the long run, as the the Star Chamber Guardians are slowly being dragged down by sheer numbers of enemy troops. The Conraves are very wisely just sitting back. They don't want to fight those elite temple gods with magic attacks. But yeah, the Strigoi Vampire Lord with Opal Amulet and this insane healing of the Gold King of Oshuran plus regeneration, he's just pushing straight through the damn Star Chamber Guardians and just bullying the poor Slime Age Priest of High Magic, even dropping that Doom and Darkness, trying to rout him off. But the Slime Age Priest of High Magic, being the tankier on the tankier side, on the fatter side of Spellcaster at 6,000 HP, he's actually tanking it, surviving it, allowing some of the Star Chamber Guardians to at least do a little bit more damage to the Strigoi Vampire Lord. I guess partially thanks to the Guardian effect from the Star Chamber Guardians. But unfortunately, the Star Chamber Guardians were unable to push through and hunt down the Strigoi Vampire Lord. And the Blood Knights are coming back, deleting, landing the killing blow on the Slime Mage Priest, who got teleported back to their temple. As you can see, the body is no longer there, it just got teleported away. The rest of the Sauruses and the Skinks, they don't have that luxury to escape from the battlefield, and they will break even the elites of the Star Chamber Guardians. And yeah, that's it for today's stream. I hope you all... Oh, wait, hold on. There's still the post-battle screen here. Yeah. Blood Knights did brilliant, just out-trading those poor Koan Spear Riders with the help of the Conrads, who are very fast and agile, able to keep up with some of these cavalry, and provide a very fast infantry support. Yeah, Vargas did well, just jumping onto the Umbral Tide and shocking some of these Blow Dart Skinks as well. Undead Infantry didn't do a whole lot, but most of the damage were done by the Blood Knights and some of the Conrads, Vargas, whatnot. Strigoi Vampire Lord took a shit ton of damage, but he managed to stay alive with Opal Amulet, Gold King of Oshuran, and regeneration. Just tanking it out, man. Tanking it out. Slime Age Priest of High Magic did an insane amount of damage, actually. Yeah. With the Banishment, with the Blood Statue, and Tempest. But unfortunately, that was not quite enough there, not even with the help of Star Chamber Guardians to help him survive the onslaught. As the Gold King of the Strigoi Vampire Lord just ignored the freaking, just ignored all the poor Star Chamber Guardians, pushed through and still killed the Slime Age Priest of High Magic, regardless. Yeah. While the Koan Cavalry did quite poorly against all that Undead Cavalry and Ethereal units combined. Yeah, that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed today's stream, and whether you have been playing in the tournament yourself or just been watching online. But yeah, that is going to be it for today's, and I'll see you all in the next one. We'll be coming back for one last round of, is it one last round? Let me just check the dates. Well, actually, we might have two more rounds of, multiplayer, midweek multiplayer 20. On before the DLC. But yeah, before next Wednesday, we'll just be chilling for a bit, and then we'll be back with another 20 next Wednesday at the same time as usual. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Tactical Lich signing out.